It's finally happening. The Montreal Canadiens versus Tampa Bay Lightning. Game 1 coming to you very soon. Welcome here to the live watch-along play-by-play. I know we have all been waiting so long for this, so now that you're here, leave a like on this stream if you think Montreal is going to win. And as you can see here, type C in the chat for the Canadiens. Type L if you think the Lightning are going to win. Probably not going to be a whole lot. Jesse, I already got the Patrick Roy Stanley Cup jersey on my back. We are all ready. How pumped are you? First time in a year, but it feels different this year, doesn't it?
It feels completely different, but the Habs have much to prove, right? But I like that we're going up against a team, right? We know it doesn't matter what happens in the regular season, but a team that we've had success with of late, right? And that's going to be really important. But I think one of the bigger notes here, Josh, is how the Habs have been so hot of late, just peaking at the right time. That's what's got me so excited. Just so much hard work from the boys this season to get here, and we're here to celebrate with you. So happy to have all of you guys here in the chat. Of course, sound off. Let us know how you're feeling about the game. Any questions whatsoever. But I think it really comes down to, like, we don't want to underestimate Tampa, but it comes down to, like, a Montreal Canadiens team that's peaking at the right time. They were 7-2 after the Olympic break. We need to remember Tampa, they were playing 500 hockey since the Olympic break. So definitely the Montreal Canadiens, the hotter of the two teams. We know it resets in the postseason, but the Montreal Canadiens are going to look to continue that strong body of work, which really continues that really strong emphasis on the defensive play here tonight.
I think the defense is going to be a big thing. Now, again, the lineup changes. There's some interesting stuff going on. I'm actually just going to try and get this over here as well so we can have everything on one screen. But yeah, I might shrink that down after so I don't cover you too much. But the thing is, like, there's a whole lot going on in this game, right? But before I get into all that, I want to thank every single chatter here right now. We got so many channel members. We got David, Daniel, Jason, Hackdog, Luke, a lot of repeat ones there, but so many wonderful people in the chat, plus Phoenix, David, Hunter, so many other people in the chat. And if you are a channel member, I see people talking about Slafzilla running wild tonight. Send your Slafzilla emojis if you are ready, and make sure you're voting in the poll. All the channel members get access to these emojis. Such a fun community to be a part of. But, you know, heading into this game, Jesse, these projected lines for both teams, that's where a lot of eyes have been, right? Of course, Tampa has that star power, Nikita Kucherov, Brandon Hagel, Brayden Point, but they've been missing Victor Hedman. And if we take a look, like, I don't know, this Tampa team, this version of this team feels maybe the most beatable they felt in a while. And as you highlighted, like, before, this team, you know, they've kind of gone down in the first round a little bit in recent years, right? Like, they're not infallible. And right now, with Moser and Radish being the top D pairing, you can see it's got Gonsalves, it's got Point and Kucherov. Nice top line. Gage Gonsalves is fine. You know, I don't know if he's a first-line winger, but he's making it work. Sorelli, Guentzel, Hagel, really diverse second line. But I don't know, Jesse, when you compare it to ours, like, I can't help but feel like we match up incredibly well with this team, which is why I am so excited to see how Montreal comes out, because I think we need to come out hard and fast in this one if we want to get off on the right foot.
And you have to feel like the top guys for the Montreal Canadiens are going to be a big part of that. But the good news is that some of our top players like Juraj Slafkovsky have been very good against the Tampa Bay Lightning so far this year. Juraj scoring 7 points in just 4 games against Tampa this year. But again, that top line is going to be really important. But we know Tampa, they got their stars as well. So as you mentioned, it's going to come down to the depth. And I think in a lot of ways, that's where the Montreal Canadiens are going to thrive. And we know the Dobson injury hurts, right, guys? Like, we love this player. He's done so much for this team. Obviously, he's an offensive threat. He skates it well. He's blocking shots, which is ultra important in the playoffs here. But the thing is, like, with Dobson, that we're gonna miss like so much here is just the fact that, like, this is a guy that obviously just eats so much minutes for the Montreal Canadiens. But thankfully, we're having a lot of guys that can come in right now and obviously play at key moments for the Montreal Canadiens as well. But in a lot of ways, you have to feel like we've still been healthy. Despite the Dobson injury, there's lots of key guys, like Newhook's back. He's playing well, right? Like, we got a lot of guys, a lot of options right now for Martin St. Louis to really choose from. So it's about really starting off strong. And again, we need to play that speed game. And obviously, they're going to want to drag us into that physical game. We're going to need to answer the bell while still really staying that speed game, especially through the neutral zone, which is going to be our bread and butter.
Yeah, speed game through the neutral zone, I think, yeah, absolutely is what we need to do. And you know what? Like, that last game against Tampa, you could tell they game planned for that, because that's exactly what Tampa tried to prevent, right? Their neutral zone play was really good. They were thwarting pretty much everything that we tried in the neutral zone. So not only will we need to be physical, I see Jason in chat saying we got to win, or we got to finish every check, punish their guys that aren't 100%. That is big too, right? You need to be big and physical, but you also need to play your game, right? Playoff style hockey is different from regular season hockey. There's no doubt about it. And teams that have experienced it, they know it. Now, Montreal thankfully got some experience last year, but, you know, like, you can't let that get into your head. Like, you can't be a fast, skilled team and get away from that in favor of maybe being more physical and doing this. You got to find a way to do them both at the same time. And that's where the experience comes in. How do you capitalize on those moments that you get? This Montreal Canadiens team that forces a turnover, go out and transition. You can't blow these chances, because just, you know, one mistake in transition, you don't score in a 2-on-1, that could swing a series. It could swing a game, right? So this is where I think Montreal needs to really work with each other, but I think it's also where Marty St. Louis is going to just do his best to help the guys mentally, a guy who's been there before, who knows what to do. I'm actually really optimistic that these guys are going to come out really hard in this game because we've been prone to slow starts over the past few years in certain games. I really don't foresee it happening in this one. I think Montreal's going to be amped up. I think in Tampa, especially the guys like Josh Anderson, Phil Deneau, the guys that were in Gallagher, even though he's not playing, who were there in Tampa when Montreal lost, I think they're ready to come back and start a new chapter in this Habs rebuild story.
It's a new chapter. We're starting off strong here tonight. There's a lot of belief in the Montreal Canadiens, not only within the locker room, which I think they try to downplay, but they actually very much believe in themselves. Nick Suzuki saying himself today that he believes that they can contend for the Stanley Cup, absolutely, and that is the belief that you have to have going into this. But it's not just only inside the room, Josh. It's really outside of it as well, where we're seeing some major hockey analysts which really believe that the Montreal Canadiens can win this first round against Tampa Bay, and some feeling like that's probably going to be, if they can win this, that's probably going to be one of their harder matchups until they get to the final. So it really says so much. Like, if the Montreal Canadiens can get off to a strong start, not only against Tampa Bay, and not only, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but it speaks about what they can do going forward. And I think that's what's incredible. And I think that belief in this team is really well deserved. The fact that they've been able to come in the clutch so often is going to come down and really matter the most in the playoffs, when obviously the margin of error very much tightens up. But we're so excited as well, Josh, because there's like some positive metrics. As much as like we had a very good season and you feel like the Montreal Canadiens like would deserve to start at home for as well as they've played this year, right? Like, you know, no disrespect to the Pittsburgh Penguins, right? But you know, like the Montreal Canadiens been very good on the road all the same, sporting a 24-9-8 record on the road. So you have to feel like that's something this team's going to feel comfortable going in with that. You have to feel like this later start a little bit, so maybe negating a little bit of that home ice advantage for Tampa here a little bit. But they're also second in goals scored on the road this year, right? And also their power play is even much better on the road than it is at home. Like, our power play is absolutely lethal on the road. And you have to feel like, again, the reason I'm feeling very confident, and sound off here tonight, like, let us know, like, what do you think the score is going to be here tonight for the Montreal Canadiens? Like, I'm feeling very confident, Josh, just because, like, we know the power play, it often comes down to that, right? And we've seen that, like, with Tampa. I think special teams is going to be key tonight, because we saw one of the last matchups against Tampa, 5v5, it was really close. Like, who was able to stay disciplined and really draw the other team into some penalties, which was often the difference maker a lot of the time. We know that when the Montreal Canadiens get some opportunities here tonight, you have to feel like they're going to be able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Montreal is absolutely going to be able to do it, and I want right now, I like that idea. In chat, what will the final score be? Send it in chat right now. I want to go through all of them. And also, I see some people asking what you're wearing, what other people, are wearing for this game. Let us know what jersey you're wearing, but predict the final score, Jesse. I think I'm going to go, I think it's going to be a tight game. We're seeing like most of these games are pretty close. I'm going to say 3-2 Montreal. I think it's going to be a tight game right until the finish. Tampa is not going to let Montreal have anything come easy, but Montreal is a team that can absolutely score 3 goals in the game. I don't see any issue with that. I think it's going to be a fun one, but also, like, you know what they say, right? You know, Montreal, what they say, let me get to that first. The series is not over. You don't know who's going to win until the road team wins a game, right? Like, that's, you know, like, you got to see the road team do it. If Montreal loses this game, it doesn't matter, really. But you can see, even a game like Minnesota versus Dallas in that last game, 6-1 Minnesota, the power of coming out and playing strong, scoring a few quick goals, that can demoralize another team so quickly. Dallas was not the same. Heiskanen was playing, but didn't really matter. Thomas Harley had the worst game score of any player of all the games yesterday. So if Montreal can come out quickly and capitalize again on a Lightning team that have a few injuries, as you can see here, Victor Hedman, Pontus Holmberg, and of course Jonas Johansson, who is the backup, but not tonight. Yeah, like right now, you know, obviously we have our guys, you know, day-to-day Carrier, he probably is going to draw in, but Noah Dobson, right? Like, you just got to come out and start really, really, really fast. And I think that's what Montreal is going to need to do. And I'm going to read through some of these predictions here in the chat. As also, we got to say a huge thank you to It's Mr. Clean, Simon. Simon, thank you so much for being here. 20 months as a member. We're getting close to 2 years. Thank you so much, Mr. Simon. And if everyone could leave a W for Simon in the chat, that'd be incredible. 5-1 Montreal. hat trick. I love that take. Jesse, we got 3-2, 4-2, 4-1. But what I will say, not a single person is predicting the Lightning to win, which is exactly what we love to see in this chat.
Not in this chat, right? And I think it's important we're talking about this because it's really the keys to victory for the Montreal Canadiens. What do they need to do in this all-important game one? Because let's face it, folks, like the team that wins game one has a huge statistical advantage to win that series. Like it is very important to start off strong. It's not the be-all, end-all. It's just very important in all of this. And what has been the Montreal Canadiens' really big keys to success? And really, again, during their 8-game winning streak, we saw that ended on April 4th. What was really the motto there? It was let's score about like over 3 goals per game, or normally averaging about like 4 goals a game, while allowing about less than 4, like allowing no more ever than 3 goals a game against, right? So I'm going to think that's going to stay true here for tonight. That's why I'm going to say 4-2 for the Montreal Canadiens here tonight.
4-2, and I think that's pretty in line with what a lot of people are saying. You know, I said 3-2, but like that's one empty netter away from being your score, which I actually kind of like more now that I'm thinking about it. But I'll stick with what I said. I think 3-2 is a close one, maybe even overtime. Who knows? I mean, that would be fun. That'd be crazy. We'll have to wait and see. Look, there's a reason this game started early, but to look through Habs for Cup 17, love that. 3-2, 4-2, 4-1, 5-2, 3-1, 3-1, 3-2. 2-2 overtime, says Daniel. Don't know who you have winning. I assume it's Montreal. 4-3 Montreal in OT. 3-2. We got a whole lot of W's in the chat. Thank you again to Simon for the 20 months membership. But yeah, it seems like it's pretty consensus that Montreal is going to win this game in this chat. But it's not going to be some 5-4 massive thing. And it's probably not going to be low scoring. Both these teams have too much talent for that to be the case. And, you know, heading into this game, and even this series, Jesse, there's no two ways about it. Montreal is being treated as the underdog. Whether they actually are an underdog, I don't know. I might have my qualms with that take. But you can see, heading into this game, Tampa is the favorite by 1.5 goals. Like right now, it just seems like everywhere is saying, yeah, Tampa's probably going to win this game. But again, I just think Montreal has so much in the tank to take this on. And I wanted to just go to a quote that I saw earlier by Marty St. Louis, MSL. On a un groupe affamé. On n'est pas là pour participer. And you know what? He said so many times before how Montreal just needs to, like, we know what it's going to be. It's going to be different. You got to prepare mentally for it. But, Jesse, they're not here to just participate. They're starved. They need to go out there, and they're going to put on an incredible performance. And this is why I think, to me, like it is with many games, but in the regular season for Montreal, if they didn't get off to a hot start, I still had faith they'd get their rhythm eventually. For me, the first 10 minutes of this game is going to matter more than any first 10 minutes of any regular season game. We cannot afford another performance. Was it against the Islanders? It was against someone where we had, one shot in the first 10 minutes? It's not really going to fly. Play discipline, play physical, and I think, Jesse, too, with Montreal actually arguably being the more physical team, or at least very close, being able to set the tone physically here for Montreal, guys like Xhekaj, Anderson, even Bolduc, Slav, if they can go out there and really lay the body first, force the ref to call the game in the way that Montreal is dictating, that to me could also be a huge turning point, especially against a veteran team.
Yeah, getting on the forecheck has always been a big part of the Montreal Canadiens' success. But again, here, being the underdogs going into this, I feel like this is really part of it and is truly serving and showing why that this series is just like a pivotal part of the rebuild. In order to be the champs, you need to beat the teams that have done in the past. And you really need to earn that respect. And even though the Montreal Canadiens are, arguably a top 5 team in the league, right? Just for being so young, they're kind of still having to earn that respect, and very much a series win here would very much go a long way in that direction here. So absolutely, I think that they need to play the physical game. We're in the playoffs, and that's absolutely going to be a really big part of it, right? Absolutely. But at the same time, I think we know the identity that the Montreal Canadiens have, and they're not alone in it. I think that's what's kind of exciting too, is you see a team very much like the Colorado Avalanche, right? Where they're having a lot of success, and even from the in the playoffs here as it's looking tonight, by playing a little bit more of that mobile game, which I think is going to be really important. So sticking to our identity, but definitely answering the call as it comes up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited for this, as we're currently seeing the Montreal Canadiens hit the ice along with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, I'm sure there'll still be some opening ceremony thing and anthem, so we'll have to wait, but it does look like, I believe, the Kings and Avalanche game just ended. Closer game than I think a lot of people would have thought. 2-1 for Colorado, and it was Drew O'Connor, or Logan O'Connor. I always mess the names. Drew, I think, is in And it doesn't matter anyway. They scored with just a few minutes left in the game to make it 2-0. The Kings did get one late, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough. And we go to the chat here, we see Habs players look excited. They absolutely should be. Like, I would be. I can't imagine, bro. Like, I get up for just, anything, any kind of competition. I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm geared up. I can't imagine the atmosphere here, let alone the atmosphere next Friday when they head back to Montreal. And I see someone, SB Grinds Brawl, can you wish me a happy birthday, April 22nd? SB Grinds Brawl, early happy birthday to you. Absolutely. So, happy birthday, SB Grinds Brawl. And Jesse, I'll let you take that too.
Happy birthday, SB. So happy to have you with us celebrating. Hope you have a great weekend here to celebrate as well.
And as we're getting in the pregame, anyone who got anything they want to shout out, we'd love to just interact with you guys before this game. That's what we're all about. We are all real Habs fans who are just here so psyched for this. I want to share it with you, Jesse, share it with everyone in the chat. If you got anything to say, we'd love to respond to a bunch of your chats. I want this to be super interactive. We got a bunch of great stuff coming. We got a goal horn for Habs goals. We're also going to be playing a little bit of the audio of the game. Don't tell anyone. So you might be able to hear some stuff in the background. So we want to make this as good of an experience as possible. But yeah, super excited. They're just showing the montage. And Jesse, when it comes to times like this, there's Galley with some blood on his face. I don't know, like, I can feel the blood pressure rising, I can feel the warmth in my cheeks, and yeah. I just need people to just send some W's in the chat. I'm just gonna spam some W's. I want people to send emojis because we need that energy. I want to see everyone in chat, whether you've chat before or not. If you're in here, anyone can chat. You don't need to be subscribed or anything. Just participate, say something, because I don't know. I feel like I can't contain my emotion right now as they're about to sing "Oh Canada" in Tampa. Like, I don't know, Jesse. It's been too long coming, man. Like, I haven't felt this excited for a game in so long.
The smile's coming as I'm seeing the boys getting on the ice, and it's really getting real, right? And obviously, it's been such a tremendous season. Like, what the Montreal Canadiens have been able to do this year. Like, we really do not want to take this for granted, Habs Nations. Like, we look at teams like the Detroit Red Wings, Columbus Blue Jackets, right? A lot of our peers expecting to be in the playoffs, but they're not here, right? And again, the Montreal Canadiens, they're a talented team, but it really comes down to something a little bit greater than that. And I think that's the chemistry and how they're really battling, and a lot of that willpower, which I think it really comes down to. And I think that's one of the major strengths of this Montreal Canadiens, which makes them truly special. And we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but we truly believe in what this team can do. We are believers here tonight. We know this first 10 minutes, it's going to be about weathering that storm a little bit too, like when you're on the road as well. But we're not going to want to wait too long before imposing our game. So again, we're just taking a moment. Thank you guys for just being here in the chat with us once again. We are just so excited. We had to go live for the first postseason game for the Montreal Canadiens this year. They've been going so hard for us. As fans, you guys have been going so hard for us. We want to go so hard for you just to show our appreciation to this team, to this fans for everything they've been able to accomplish this year. But you know that we're not done yet. Not done yet at all. And hey, if you guys receive this well, we might have to do a few more as the playoffs go on. It's going to be incredible. I see the W's coming in the chat so much. Appreciate you guys. I see a, hey man, Bolts fan here. This will be a good game. Good luck to you guys. Thank you, TTV, KD, Milky Man. Don't know classy.
if you're streaming.
That's classy.
Yeah, classy. Very classy. Appreciate a lot of Lightning fans. Honestly, I haven't had too many bad experiences. I want to beat the crap out of the Lightning. Let's not get that twisted. But no, thank you. Appreciate that coming in. Love the first game being an hour earlier than usual. Good for us EU fans. Shout out to Daniel SK, pumped from Sydney, Australia. Hello from Sydney, Australia. We got a couple people from Australia always showing up in the chat. Are you going to show the game? Legally, we cannot show the video of the game. We would get the stream taken down, but we're going to do everything we can to make this as enjoyable for you as possible. Hello, all you awesome Habs fans. Mark Orr, keep the faith. Go Habs, go. Great to see you, Mark. So hype, boys. Don't look nervous. Well, I saw Josh Anderson doing this, but that might just be Josh Anderson, getting ready to go after Tampa. Probably not nerves, more just hype. We got people wearing new Lane Hutson jersey, says Dave Laws. Hello, Dave. Hi, Josh and Jesse. Subchat, go Habs, go. Don't stop believing. I mean, Jesse, the energy is completely off the charts right now. And I mean, as it should be. And, I actually see an interesting question here as we're still waiting for the American anthem to finish. If you could bring back one former Canadian in their prime, who would it be? Personally, I'm thinking Carey Price. You know what? With that story, Jesse, that's the first one that came to mind to just... Because, there's players that maybe were better or whatever. Lafleur, Maurice Richard, so many wonderful names. But, for me growing up, watching the Habs and looking at the team that's out there right now, imagining Carey Price out there with them, I feel like for me it would be something special.
Yeah. Is it blasphemous to want a prime Brendan Gallagher back in this team in the playoffs right now? Just kidding. I've always been partial to him. I think he's been like an incredible player for this team in so many ways. And again, they're going to be motivated to really go for guys like that as well. I think that's a great shout out. But at the same time, like I like this point that you're bringing up though with goaltending, right? Because Jakub Dobeš has been playing so good of late. And again, like when you're having a streak like he's been doing, just been able to win games, when you're a goaltender like that, you go on dominant streak, you start getting in your opposition's head. And I quite literally, like, we're bringing the Habs propaganda. I think that the Dobeš is in Tampa's head and a lot of other teams. Like, this guy has just been a brick wall for a solid minute now against so many teams. I think it's going to come down to goaltending. Like, the fact that we got a goaltender here that we just have so much confidence in, it's going to bring so much fire and so much willpower to win this game, has to get the Habs team really motivated, put out a solid outing in front of them here tonight.
Absolutely. I think I still got the animation. Let's play it. Let's go, Dobby. I mean, yeah, he's a brick wall. Oh, dude, I'm so ready. There he is. And he's going to be in for a great game today. But you know what, Jesse? It's been great for young goaltenders. Well, one so far. Jesper Wallstedt getting the call yesterday. John Hines making the bold choice to go with Wallstedt over Philip Gustafsson. Paid off. Only let in one goal in that 6-1 thrashing. Habs don't have a choice, really. Montembeault is not a real option at this point. He's still around the team, of course, but certainly seems like it's going to be either Dobeš or Fowler. Right now, it is Jakub Dobeš in net as they're showing him alongside Andrei Vasilevskiy. We're going to turn the audio on. Here we go. It's Chris Cuthbert. So we'll see. Cuthbert in the past, when it was Habs versus Leafs, he didn't seem too engaged for the Habs, but he might not have much of a choice in this game. I am so ready, Jesse. It's looking like we're preparing for puck drop. How are we feeling in chat? Let's get some Go Habs go in the chat right now. I see David Darcy setting it. The puck is ready to drop. I am so excited.
We got this, definitely. And again, the boys here, like, who do you guys think is going to be getting that first goal for the Montreal Canadiens? Again, if we look at the statistics, probably a good chance it's going to be somebody on that first line, but sound off below because we know that this Montreal Canadiens were good at putting the puck in the back of the net. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing the likes of Suzuki, but I'm liking the Slav takes. I'm going to go with Juraj Slafkovsky for the first goal here for the Montreal Canadiens. Having a strong feel might be somebody on that first line. Who are you feeling here tonight, Josh?
That's a good question. And I'm going to put it up in the chat. Who will score the first goal? And let's see your take in the chat, everyone. I am going to take... Oh, man. I know it's maybe low-hanging fruit, but I am just going to say it's Cole Caufield. I'm just going to say it's going to be Cole. He's going to rip one past Andrei Vasilevskiy, and that's going to be that. We got a lot of people in chat. Slav, go Habs, go Habs, go. First 10 minutes are huge. Slav, new hook from Dr. Phil. I like that take, too. Slav gets the first as Hack Dog. A lot of people, Jesse, are seeming to say Juraj Slafkovsky, and I think it's a great take. I think you had a good one there, as right now it's down in Tampa's zone behind the net. Chernak clears it out. Now, that first shot on Dobeš got me a little nervous, Jesse, already. But you know what? You as long as you can get past that first possession, I think you're in decent shape.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the young team, right? Coming into the playoffs here. But again, it's just about getting into the game. And again, it's all about that defensive game. Sometimes it's about playing a little bit simpler for the Montreal Canadiens here tonight. And that's the nice thing. It's more, they just need to just kind of know when to maybe just play on the safer side of things. I think that's going to be a huge side of, key to victory for the Habs here tonight.
100%. So as we watch the puck go down behind Tampa's net again, Tampa's clearing it out to the right side. They're pushing it up the ice. Tampa's got out in transition a couple times already in this game as they dump it in behind Dobeš. Oh, there's a bit of a collision there. There's Jack-Eye already enforcing his physicality there with a little two-handed shove in the back of Yanni Gourde. And Jesse, I know we talk a lot about Arbor Jack-Eye, but to see him be able to do that early on in this game, to just even these little plays in the corner where it's not much, just knocking people down, that's exactly what we need him to do, and I'm hoping we can see that a bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, for sure. And that's, again, I'm just so happy that Arbor Jack-Eye is really starting the first game of these playoffs here. You got to feel like he's going to be a really important factor in this series.
Absolutely. As Tampa comes in down the right side, is Brayden Point stopping up. Alex Carrier can't get it away from Kucherov, who comes back out in front of the net, fires it towards the goal, gets blocked in front as Matheson picks it up and clears it out, and is Demidov heading down the right side. He chips it to himself. It's in a bit of a race with Moser and Radish, and it goes into the corner. But again, Montreal and Tampa both playing physical, both playing fast. And if both teams are playing physical and fast, Jesse, I don't know. I feel pretty confident that the game will go Montreal's way. So I know we're only 2 minutes in and the shots are 2-0 for Tampa. But if the pace stays like this, I got to think that over the course of this game, it will favor Montreal.
The pace of the game is so important, Josh. You're so right to point that out early in the game, and we saw that was a big part of the Habs' success the last time that they played, that Tampa Bay really tried to drag us down, bring in the physicality, the chippiness after every single whistle here. And really the Montreal Canadiens is going to be super important to really continue to play their style of game. If they can continue to do that, they're going to be able to get the victory here tonight.
100%. As we see Texier out there, and I'm actually really interested to see how he fares in this game. Alex Texier is one of these big, I don't know if I want to say X Factor, I've used that a lot, but one of those big kind of, what's going to happen here? One of these big question marks, because again, that second line, like, Kapanen not being out there on the second line, is there's a little chance for Tampa in front. Corey Perry, of course, where else but in front of Dobeš? It goes wide, and the Habs escape unscathed, though Tampa gets possession back. But Alex Texier with this second line, I think him and Newhook are really going to have to, Tampa players down on the ice. Not really sure what happened there. But there's going to be a whole lot of eyeballs on that second line as, oh my goodness, as James goes off the ice, he is really hurting, and I didn't see what quite happened. But this second line, Jesse, I think over the course of this whole series and playoffs, they'll need to give Montreal some depth scoring. And, that, to me, like, outside the top line, like, I don't know if there's much more important than that second line getting going, hopefully early in the series.
And I got a lot of faith in Alexander Texier coming into the series. Obviously, Demidov is really that star of that second line. But you have to feel like Texier and Newhook are going to have a huge roles in really being able to help that as well. But we know Newhook is obviously more than capable himself of producing. But again, call it like instincts, call it kind of vibes. But I feel like Alexander Texier is going to have a series for whichever reason, right? And I feel like he's got a lot of skill in his game. It's just about, bringing that confidence and making some quick plays with the puck. And that's really going to be, how he really makes a difference on that second line.
Yeah, play his own game, and he's a very skilled guy, and he's going to need to play with a bit more energy, so let's see. But you got to feel bad for James there in Tampa, going down so early, and a guy who's had, I believe, some injury problems before, but yeah, there's been a few big hits already. Gooley laid one, Jack Guy's laying one. Tampa's playing pretty physical as Montreal gains possession. It's Lane Hutson who flips it up and down the ice as Montreal's closing in that fourth line. Fourth/third, the bottom six is kind of one big thing anyway, but it's the Anderson, Evans, and Danault line with two fantastic centers on that line. Evans and Danault on the same line, you're not winning a faceoff. Sorry. If you're the other team, as it goes back behind Tampa's net again. Jesse, we're 4 minutes into this game, and Montreal is still yet to register a shot, though they're forechecking pretty strongly here. I mean, I don't know, like, there's lots and lots of time left, but Montreal has struggled to get pucks towards Andrei Vasilevskiy so far. I think Tampa's playing a really good gap game. They're not letting Montreal get to their spots, and I think Montreal's going to have to adjust sooner rather than later here, but I'm not saying there's a problem yet. Still learning how to play against this experienced Tampa team, but Tampa's not making it easy as they go out in front with what a save from Jakub Dobeš. Oh, the most clutch save of the game so far as Slav takes it the other way as he gets a shot on net. Tampa gains possession. Already, Jesse, this game is as exciting as I think we could have hoped for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, for the Habs, it's often as a road team, especially in game one, it's about really kind of just weathering those first couple minutes here. I'm really not too worried at all. No. But again, it's just about getting some offensive zone time, getting in that forecheck, right, and just building upon that. Obviously, there's a direct correlation just between offensive zone time and getting your chances and getting goals on net here. So again, I think that this young Habs team is really par for the course. And so far, so I think it's just about, at the same time, it's again just playing that simple game, and I think again we just keep coming back to that, but that's really going to be the mantra for the Habs here tonight.
100%. As we watch a replay of that Dobeš save, how far was he out of the net there? He was like 10 feet out of his net, dude.
Easy.
He was up at the hash marks, man. He's nuts, but that's what you need, right? Like that kind of mentality, man, to come out that far already. Like, he's a psycho, but that's exactly what you want to see in a playoff series.
And he knows when to do it, right? Like when there's not another player around to obviously allow for an easy tap-in goal. So that's really good situational awareness on his part to know when to really challenge that shot and take away any angles.
Absolutely. Leave a like on the stream if you like that Jakub Dobeš save, as we're now seeing the graphic for most wins in a rookie season in franchise history. Ken Dryden with 39 in 71-72, Bill Durnan with 38 in 1944, Jacques Plante with 33 in 1955, and then it's Jakub Dobeš. This year. I mean, what an incredible number of players there is, incredible list of players, I should say. As Dave says, reminds me of Ken Dryden. The Dobie hype in the chat is crazy. By the way, all channel members, every time Dobie makes a save, we got to see this Dobie brick wall emoji. And if you're not a channel member, you can get in for just a couple dollars a month. And hey, we're here. You get priority responses on all streams when we're taking comments from the chat. You get all these emojis and even some members only videos that'll probably be coming a little bit more in the future. As we get a big donation from Jake Carroll as the game gets going. Jake with the $10. Jake Carroll, I want you all to like Jake Carroll's message as Montreal gets in close. Can't quite get a shot. Go Habs. Love the channel. Simple as that, Jesse. Well, thank you so much, Jake. And that's what we're here. We're here to spread the love and excitement. And I'm just waiting for Montreal's first goal because I think this whole chat, this whole fandom is going to explode.
For sure, and we believe, right? But getting a big save from Jakub Dobeš, our young rookie goalie, we need to remind still, right? Just really, and it's like first year and a half truly in the NHL. So the fact that he's just showing a lot of confidence early, obviously, like the team has just historically played a lot better with him in net, and often a lot of it's just because of these big saves that he's able to make like that, Josh.
Absolutely, that was a big save by him, and a 2-on-1 for Newhook and Ivan Demidov. Didn't end in a goal, but Newhook got a good look at the net. He missed it, but that's okay. Montreal continuing. Look, getting a 2-on-1 this early against Tampa is good, as Newhook makes a bit of an errant pass there, but still manages to recover, and he resets back to Lane Hutson, and it's behind Jakub Dobeš, and I think that's Hutson. I actually can't really tell sometimes from, it's Gooley. Hard to tell, you know, when you're watching here, you're not in the booth broadcasting down. But Tampa recoups it behind their own net. A few times Montreal has tried to dump it in and just can't seem to get the possession on the forecheck. As Tampa breaks out, that might be icing. It is, and it's going to be a face-off down in Tampa's zone with 13 and a half minutes left in this first period. I mean, both teams, Jesse, getting prime chances as we get another look at Alex Newhook. Taken, little toe drag back, little shot, just missed the net. That might have been saved. Radish played the 2-on-1 well. Both teams getting great chances. I mean, that's all you could ask for. You just hope that Montreal gets more in the long term here.
Well, and the way that they're going to do that, again, how was that 2-on-1 generated? With Newhook, it was with that speed once again. So that's truly going to be their game, really getting on that horse in the neutral zone to really break down Tampa Bay over the course of this game.
100%. Arbor Jacki laying a bit of physicality there as well as he gets the puck over to Cole Caufield, who springs out in transition. Nick Suzuki takes it into the offensive zone, stops up, looks around, feeds it back to the point. It's Jaden Struble who rips a shot. It gets blocked in front. Juraj Slafkovsky scrambling for it. It's Struble back, passes it back over to Jacki. This pairing, Jesse, we talk about eyeballs on a line or a pairing. Struble and Jacki throughout this whole series are going to have a ton of pressure on them as Jacki mishandles it at the point, but it's Struble back in his own zone to get it. Again, little things like that. You never really know what's going to happen as Montreal manages to once again come out unscathed. The Slaf brings it into the offensive zone alone and dumps it in deep for the third line, who comes in now, the Bolduc line. But Struble and Jacki, Jesse, I mean, I know a lot of people are talking about it, but if one of them has an off game, you have to think that one of Reinbacher or Engstrom, probably Reinbacher, is right there ready to snipe that opportunity out from under them.
They're going to be there, right? But at the same time, I feel like Jacki and Struble are two of the type of guys that you need in the lineup. And again, that's just like what the great situation that we're in with the Montreal Canadiens. Like, I love a guy like David Reinbacher, right? But at the same time, like, I very much recognize what Arbor Jacki provides to this team. That's exactly why we're so confident in this team and what they can really do. Why we will get the first goal in this game as well is just, again, like the plethora of riches that this team has, right? Like, just with young guys at all positions. And again, we know that the David Reinbacher pick wasn't like the most, the most accoladed decision at the time, right? Like picking him over Michkov. But at the same time, it's like we're not having the option of putting him potentially in the lineup with a Dobson injury if we're picking a Michkov, right? It doesn't always look like the best decision at the time, but given our situation, how important this run is, you don't want to always just mail it in for next year. Again, having somebody like David Reinbacher that can come in and provide some reinforcements, I think is really huge and just shows what amazing management that the Montreal Canadiens do, really playing the long game.
Yeah, I completely agree, as the Habs did get another 2-on-1 there with Zach Bolduc, but he couldn't quite get a shot on net as they took away Montreal's earlier shot. That was
looking good, though.
Yeah, it looked good. It was a nice little backhand. It was nice. And that was Montreal's officially first shot just then, with about 11 minutes left in the first. Now, one of these things I said I really didn't think Montreal would go this far without a shot. However, with the amount of chances they've had, I don't really think the shot counter reflects these scoring chances. Montreal, again, the 2-on-1 with Newhook, as Darren Radish is bleeding from his lip on the bench. Not really sure what happened there. But Newhook going in on a 2-on-1. You can see Bolduc there with the 2-on-1. Slav coming in and firing the puck at the net that Vasilevskiy saved, but they didn't count that as a shot. I'm not really sure why. I don't know if the scorekeepers in Tampa have a vendetta. It's just going to inflate Montreal's shooting percentage even more, right? But no, I'm super, super excited for the rest of this game. Again, Jesse, what we talked about, you mentioned it just then, the speed. It's something Montreal is already playing with a bit right now, and, you know, taking some calculated risks, which you're going to need to do. So far, again, shots are 4-1, but I'm really not unhappy with how this game has started for Montreal.
No, exactly. Starting to get some looks in the offensive zone, and some things are getting blocked, as you'll kind of expect there in the postseason. But again, some good looks, and it's about building and getting those looks. And then it's about getting those shots on net, and it's really capitalizing from there. But again, we're starting to hit some good bases to really start off this game.
Yeah, it's been good. As there's another puck battle along the wall, as Lane Hutson's also imposing a little bit of physicality. And for a small guy, he's pretty strong. And that's something that everyone has said about him. As Caden Gooley starts, the Habs out in transition as Ivan Demidov coming through center, dangling through 15 different Tampa Bay Lightning members, tries to get the shot off, gets taken down. No call. Tampa coming back the other way. Mike Matheson quickly back to recover. This is Brandon Hagel, who dumps in at the blue line. Oh, and very interesting. Carrier giving him a little bit of a shot. Good to see Carrier back on the ice, Jesse, and he's one guy that I think can make a huge difference. I mean, with Dobson going out, getting a guy who, yes, has made his mistakes with the Habs, but a guy who's generally regarded as fairly responsible with the puck, and Alex Carrier, who can be a nice defensive presence. I think it's almost underrated by a lot of fans, this acquisition, I guess, right before the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, just the experience that he provides, I think, is the big thing with a very young decor that the Montreal Canadiens have. So again, that's a huge add having him in the lineup here for this first playoff game, especially with young guys like Lane Hutson, though. But I want to highlight again, just we're going to be mentioning Lane Hutson's game quite a bit here during the game, and I imagine during the series, because again, what I like about the Montreal Canadiens team is they got guys that I feel will elevate their game in the postseason. And yeah, Tampa has that as well. That's why they've been successful in the past. But that's why I feel that the Montreal Canadiens will get there. Is they got guys like Lane Hutson, who I believe will elevate. Cole Caufield, who I believe is a big-time player. Juraj Slafkovsky just being a bigger player. I think he's going to elevate. Bolduc showing, some of those positive signs. So again, just having some of those key gamers, right? Like there's some guys, some of your best players are not necessarily always postseason guys. But I think Hutson is truly going to be one of the guys that shines for the Montreal Canadiens, if not proving to be one of their best players, if not their best player.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's going to be, remember, he was a point per game last year in the playoffs. As, by the way, Montreal lands a power play as Tampa gets called for too many men on the ice.
That's huge.
To Jon Cooper's dismay, maybe. Although, I don't know if the play was affected by the bench, but it was definitely a slow change. So, Tampa, you know what? The refs are calling that tight. They're letting the physicality go. A few guys, like in the regular season, you might see some tripping calls, some cross checks. Interference, it's not getting called, but too many men. They're stringent on it. So, Jesse, if you wanted a better opportunity, I don't think you could get it on the road in game one, halfway through the first period. You haven't got the shot counter you wanted. You're one of the best road power plays in the NHL. Who is scoring the power play goal? Everyone in chat right now, let's go. Get this hype going. I am so excited right now. First power play of the playoffs. We can't afford to come out soft on this power play. I'm ready for it. And yeah, Jesse, you know what? I said Caufield. I'll stick to it. I think you're sticking with Slav. I think a lot of people in chat are saying it's Slav. Right now, just hammering the puck at the net. Get Tampa on the back foot. No better chance than right here, right now.
And I like that one-time threat that Ivan Demidov can really provide as well with that second unit. So look to them to have some solid opportunities as well. You have to feel like he's going to factor into this series in some big ways. It's going to come down to some depth scoring. This is a huge opportunity for Ivan Demidov to really write his story. What type of player is he going to be in the postseason when it truly matters? And again, like for me, character, like guys that have good character, like Juraj Slafkovsky, like Ivan Demidov, like Hutson, like David Reinbacher, for me, like there's a direct, and let me know, Josh, if you agree with this and in the chat as well, but for me, there's like a direct correlation between having like good character and success in like key moments, in clutch moments, just something about like, call it karma or like whatever it is, but I just feel like it kind of often, it comes down to that, right? Like that willingness, that discipline that you have, and I feel like that's going to be one of the key factors here in this series here for Ivan Demidov.
No, you're totally right. It's exactly Exactly right. And I think a lot of the fans would agree. And a lot of people actually, like, when we first saw Mark Orr, first person, it's Demidov. We got Allison McCabe, go Habs, go 2-2-2. All saying Demidov, demigod, baby, says Allison. As Montreal, they lost possession of the puck to start, but Nick Suzuki comes quickly back in, and Tampa clears it again. So not the ideal start to the power play, as we're now almost 30 seconds down, and really no chance in the offensive zone yet, but it's Lane Hutson who's taking it up the ice. And I don't know, I'm watching Tampa's penalty kill here, Jesse, and Montreal is too, because watching how they defend this, they're not super hard on the blue line, like a little bit there. Nick Suzuki, again, he just couldn't quite get in the offensive zone. It's pretty clear to me that Tampa scouted Montreal. So I don't know, this is going to be a chess match between these two coaches. The more experienced Jon Cooper, the guy who was a phenomenal player in Martin St. Louis, they're going to be going at each other, trying to figure out each other's strategies. So getting as much information as you can is very crucial as Montreal finally gets their first prolonged possession here.
Yeah, for sure. And the X's and O's are going to be a big part of this series. But we know that Martin St. Louis is no slouch. But this is going to be a big opportunity. And also, you'd have to say, like, a learning opportunity for Martin St. Louis in a lot of his way to kind of really grow. He's done a great body of work, but this is going to be a huge opportunity for him to really expand his capabilities as a coach going against Jon Cooper here in this series. So definitely adjustments are going to be made throughout, but obviously Martin St. Louis and the decisions made by management as a whole have been very solid this year. So of course we're going to be trusting in that.
Oh, 100%. As we nearly got a goal there. Juraj Slafkovsky tried to step out in front of Andrei Vasilevskiy. The veteran move, the poke check to knock it off his stick. Smart play by Vasi. And I mean, Vasilevskiy, like, you're not going to get many shots by him. One of the best goalies in the history of the league. So Montreal is going to be lucky as it goes in front. And it didn't quite, I thought it went in for a second. Kirby's not happy with something. I don't know if he's John back, but Kirby with a prime opportunity there, Jesse. And I mean, Kirby Dach, we've talked a lot about different players who we have eyes on. A lot of fans have not been thrilled with Kirby Dach. Oh, he took a shot from Chernak after the play. That's just playoff hockey, baby. He wasn't happy with it, but I mean, hey, what are you going to do? If he can get going, watch out. But I think that is a big if, though I'm really, really high on Kirby figuring something out in this series.
For sure. And he's going to have his opportunity for his redemption at some point. Whether he's able to seize it, that's going to be completely up to him. But we know the thing with Kirby Dach is that he has all the tools to be able to do that. He's being called upon here again in the playoffs. You have to feel like ideally looking at his size, a 6'3", like well over 200 pound type of guy, like he should be thriving here in the playoffs. So it's going to be up to him to really impose his will and show what his mettle here in this game.
Absolutely, as there was a fumble there nearly leading to a shorthanded opportunity for Tampa. Zach Bolduc comes back and throws it at the net. It's free at the side. Kirby Dach with it. Oh boy, that was really, really, really close. The power play's over in front to Newhook and it gets blocked and goes high and wide. Tampa gains possession. Power play is officially over as Tampa's down back in Montreal's zone. Let me just get rid of the power play thing there. Let me also rename this file here. And just name it PP. Okay, there we go. It's Montreal. Matheson nearly turns it over. Gage Gonsalves looks like he took a shot in the face. I'm not sure if they're going to call that. Back in front, and it's another save, I think, from Jakub Dobeš. And my goodness, Jesse, right now, Montreal, I think, not getting a chance on that power play. Had some nerves here, but they're coming back the other way a shot. And it goes wide as Montreal and Tampa going tit for tat here, back and forth. And I mean, I don't know. It's a matter of whose goalie breaks first at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you have to feel like Dobeš, he's standing tall in his net and he's really doing his part.
Scores!
Getting some good...
The first goal of the playoffs. Oh my goodness. Let's go. Tir et le but. Montreal opening the scoring, and who else, Jesse, but Josh Anderson. It's 1-0 Montreal with 6:36 left in the first period. We got the horn going. Oh my goodness, Habs score. There it is, Jesse. The first goal of the playoffs, and it was off a pretty bad defensive zone play. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe this. Jakub Dobeš has come up so big so far for Montreal as we're watching the replay. Tampa fumbling in the corner, some great forechecking, right to Josh Anderson out front. Alex Carrier poking the puck away. Who else, Jesse? The guy who scored that OT goal for Montreal way back in 2021 gets us off to a hot start in this one. Oh, I'm so ready.
And off the rush, right? Just being able to establish some zone time, which is just so key. But Dobeš just standing up tall to really give us an opportunity here and really making it happen. This is just so huge to get this first goal here on the road. I'm just so stoked. And again, to know you have to feel is going to factor into the series in such huge ways, yes. Right? He's the veteran, and he's really providing that defense that this team needs the most. We know we can score goals, But again, if we can just, that line can contribute offensively, get that defense we know Anderson can provide with that forecheck, that's going to be so huge for the Habs in this game.
Clearly, they're pressuring Tampa. Tampa doesn't know what to do. Like, they know what to do, but I don't know if they're shook or what, but this line, like, the pressure Montreal has put on them, it's got to get in your head a little bit. And then you make a little bit of a turnover. You let a guy poke it off your stick. You lose track of your man in front, and all of a sudden it's 1-0. We're talking about these little plays and the differences they can make in the series as Demidov comes in, a fantastic pass in front as Newhook gets it knocked off his stick. Chance for chance here right now again. We'll have to see if Jakub Dobeš can stand tall, because Tampa's got their fair share of chances too, as it's officially Josh Anderson from only Alex Carrier, and there's a delayed penalty coming up on Montreal right now, a tripping call on Alex Newhook after that offensive chance. So Tampa will be going to the power play with 5 minutes 23 seconds left here in the first period. You know, Jesse, that's not what we wanted to see. This reminds me of some older Habs times where Montreal would get some momentum and give it right back, but if you can get a penalty killed here, imagine the momentum that will give you heading into the rest of this game.
For sure. And again, you know, the Habs have had their fair share of adversity so far this year. I think they still would take this, you know, that goal if it means getting a penalty right after. They've had their fair share of it, that all being said. But, you know, really, they're going to know what they need to do. Again, they got some strong penalty killers on the team. We see Hutson starting to play that role a little bit more. But again, just to show a little bit of love on Randy, Josh Anderson here, just so incredible again, like showing that forecheck. And this isn't like the first time, right? Like, remember even when we made that run to the Cup Finals, like how Josh Anderson figured so prominently in that. Again, like he goes into the group. Like I should have mentioned Josh Anderson when I'm mentioning all the players at the Montreal, even Alex Newhook. Also, I'm like, that's your boy, right? Josh, Katie Gooley, like these, like those are guys that play with like their heart on their sleeve. Like they really care. Like they play with that heart. That's when it matters in the playoffs. Like that's, again, when you're having that culture and the guys that actually like truly care, it equates to goals scored and games won in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly, right? But I think everyone on this team like is embracing this mentality. Like it's really like a herd, right? You get one guy who goes out there and lays the body and is physical, gives a ton of energy, is talking, like everyone's going to follow suit. And you got to think, again, guys like Josh Anderson, even a guy like Newhook, right? As much as young as he is, injury trouble, this dude's won a cup as like a middle six center for a talented Colorado team. Like this guy knows what it takes. So, you know, like there's a whole lot of guys here who would be, a whole lot of players around the league who'd be given an arm and a leg. Guys who've literally done that for Montreal, Shea Weber, Carey Price in the past, to just be in this position. And for Montreal to go out there, like you just, I don't know, you got to capitalize on it as they're replaying the Josh Anderson goal. Fantastic shot from him. I mean, look, again, only 14 goals, 72 games this year, but no better time than now to get his first of the playoffs. And Tampa heading on the power play, Jesse. I think Montreal, this is, again, like we talked about, the number one chance to show that defensive prowess that we need them to show if they want to go toe-to-toe with Tampa in a full series here.
Yeah, definitely. It's about bringing that defense, but again, you have to feel happy about how the Habs are starting this game. We've shown that we can score a lot of goals. We get a little bit of depth scoring, you know, from guys a little bit deeper in our bottom six there. Obviously, that's going to go a long way in this series because this isn't something that we've seen all the time, like for Josh Anderson, right? Like he's had a little bit of history in the past, and I think he's shaken a lot of ways, but like getting good opportunities in the front of the net and then like maybe missing the net. Mm-hmm. Not the case here in this opportunity in game one of the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs. What a goal that was. Again, like going top shelf, like raising up on Vasilevskiy, no less. Kind of making him look bad. Like when you can beat a goalie glove hand, you can sometimes get it and get in their head a little bit, right? They're thinking they're like, okay, I have to get those ones. So again, like when you're having guys like Josh Anderson scoring in borderline highlight reel goals here, you have to feel good for the top line of getting things going on your own account.
Oh, for sure. And like there's a couple times when Caufield scored his 50th of the season, there's another big shot. He caught Vasilevskiy kind of sliding the opposite way, and you put it back the way he's sliding away from it. It's worked. As Tampa has been working this power play, a couple of seam passes from Guentzel, knockout through Kucherov, rips one, and it goes wide. Montreal's tried to block a few shots here, but Tampa's had some sustained pressure. The first full minute and 10 seconds of this power play has been in Montreal's zone as Josh Anderson quickly gets it, dumps it down. Might have had Jake Evans on a breakout there, but they were tired. They needed to get off the ice. Again, Jesse getting the goal, then immediately going right back out there, being on the team's top power play, getting the clear. So far, Josh Anderson's the Habs MVP. This could very well change as the game goes on. But like when we talk about guys who step it up in the playoffs, like maybe it was obvious, right? Like that this guy was going to be so valuable, but holy crap. I mean, it's this time of year when that $5.5 million contract looks like an absolute bargain.
And again, he brings size to this Montreal Canadiens team. A lot of people like to talk about that, but again, in our bottom six, there's a fair amount of size there, all the same. But we see Josh Anderson, like, how good is he on this PK right now? Like, again, like, they're working his side quite a bit there on the right, but again, like, his gap control is just so good to cut off those seams while at the same time putting pressure on the opposition here. He is just playing so good. He's putting his body on the line, blocking shots left, right, and center, and it's really, and again, and being able to clear the puck as well. So he's just doing a little bit of everything for this team so far.
100% as the power play is over. Jakub Dobeš has looked exceedingly comfortable in this game, might I say. Montreal with a couple of fantastic clears, and the momentum is now all in Montreal's favor as it's Kirby Dach who's skating up the left side, chips it in. Zach Bolduc is after it. Heading in. Into the back against Dastu. Dastu is a very physical player for Tampa as well as Chernak comes flying in as well. But it's Kirby Dach who actually emerges with the puck here. Bolduc gets it, heads it back to the blue line. Jack-Eye fires it. It gets blocked. It's a couple times it's happened now for Jack-Eyes. It looks like a 2-on-2, but Tampa's just going to chip it in deep. Dobeš once again crazy out of net. I mean, we talk about him, but the level of comfort and confidence to be able to play the way he's playing, Jesse, he doesn't look any different than the regular season. And I kind of love that from Dobie because you need to have that confidence, that craziness. He is showing that, I talk about Anderson playing well, but Dobeš is, like we said earlier, the whole reason that we're in this game right now. And, Slap is yelling, doing this. Not really sure what he's angry about. We'll have to wait and see. But, I mean, Dobeš is maybe the most fun goaltender to watch in the league on any given night.
Slap's upset. Somebody's about to get it for sure. They've awoken the Zilla here, but yeah, no. And again, what's so great about Dobeš, to your point, Josh, is like we're not even all that surprised. Just the way that he carries himself, like on the ice, but even off of it, right? Like it's like you kind of expect that he's not going to be shook at all coming in the playoffs. In fact, he's had a lot of talk coming into this that he was just going to really focus on his own game. He wasn't really concentrating on anything else. And I think that's totally on brand for Dobie, and it's a big root of his success. And again, like being so young, like he's just showed such a great strength in the light of adversity at many times, right? Like not only coming into the pressure cooker that is Montreal, but also when you got jump starts like Jacob Fowler kind of pushing on you, and the fact that you're able to really hold your own net and really push and be the starting goalie for the Montreal Canadiens in the playoffs. But not only that, starting off strong, showing a lot of confidence. I think that's really key for the Habs, right? Like his confidence coming into this. We know what a hot goalie can do in the playoffs. Like again, let's look at the stats. Let's look at like the reality here with Jakub Dobeš. Like this is a 6'4" goalie, and it's not like he's skinny either, right? Like he's 6'4" and he's got the meat and potatoes as well. Like he's pushing 220 at least. He has some good technique. He's a little bit more solid. He's not moving around as much in the net. Like if you're that big, you're cutting off angles, right? Like you're just gonna have success with that amount of skill and reflex that he has. Of course, you're gonna have success at the highest levels.
And he's been able to rein in his craziness a bit, just sliding around the net. He's still out of his net a bit, but in the net, he's gotten a lot better. As the reason Slav was upset was because they called that a slash, which is absolutely ridiculous. He didn't shoot the puck, kind of lost it, just kind of tapped the stick of the Tampa defender, who just dropped it like it was nothing. And all of a sudden, it's another power play for Tampa. Not really sure what the refs are on here in this one. The too many men call, quite soft. And the new hook trip call, quite soft. The slash, quite soft. So, I don't know. The refs are seemingly out here really trying to keep this game tight and close. But Montreal just got to kill off another penalty with 2 minutes, 23 seconds left. Basically till the end of the first. The last penalty kill after that first rush from Tampa was quite good, but you really, really got to stand tall here. 2 shots from Tampa as they're 0 for 1 on the power play. I don't know. It's got to go to Dobeš, but I don't know. If refs are calling it soft, I think all you can do is keep playing physical. They can't call absolutely everything, though I am not a fan of that penalty call.
No, absolutely. And you see why Juraj Slafkovsky is so upset. And again, it's about having that fine line of keeping your composure, but obviously there's a little bit of gamemanship of you need to call out the refs. And Martin St. Louis showing a good ability to be able to stand up for his team when he needs to. And that's more of his role to be able to do that in the game when it matters. Now, this is going to be a huge kill, right? Because this is going to be 2 back-to-back here for the Montreal Canadiens. Obviously, when you're able to give a couple looks, especially, back without, kind of putting the other team on the penalty kill, obviously, statistically speaking, it it does put you in a bad spot here. But the Montreal Canadiens, I do believe that they're going to be able to kill this one off here. It's all about momentum. Really early on in this game, 5v5, you have to say that they're controlling it in a lot of ways, right? Like after those first couple minutes, they're starting to get that speed, starting to get a lot of time in the offensive zone of Tampa Bay here. So it's just about playing some smart hockey over this next 2 minutes.
That's exactly it. The puck is dropped. Brayden Point gets it in the corner as he feeds it back all the way over to the left side for Jake Guentzel. The Tampa Bay Lightning move around a whole lot. Their players switch positions a lot as it's Darren Radish at the point. You can see the movement right there. Try to crossing for Kucherov, but a wonderful clear from Jake Evans once again. Evans and Anderson. And Jesse brings me back to the Evans and Armia days. I still wish we had Army sometimes. He was so good on the PK, especially when it came to the playoffs in the past. But right now, again, Evans Anderson working really well as Tampa, they're taking their time here with 1:20 left on the power play. It's Kucherov who comes in the zone. Tampa's sticking around to the outside. Montreal's done a pretty good job after that first rush from Tampa, that first push, I should say, at keeping them at bay, though it's Guentzel who gets it back up to Radish, who lets another bomb go. Dobesh, the Habs are helping Dobesh see the shots as he makes another save with 1:29 left in the period, 1:07 left in the power play. If Dobesh can see a puck, he's going to stop it. And that's what I absolutely love. Right now, Montreal, Matheson even to some extent, there's no screenshots happening right now. Tampa's not getting in front of them. They're not trying their hardest, maybe because the refs are calling some soft calls, but that plays to Montreal's advantage.
Yeah, and again, like just the fact that they have a concerted game plan there to obviously let Dobesh see the puck. It's going to be so important to obviously do whatever you can to help your young goalie here in this game. And again, he's just playing hot, and he has a solid body of work coming into this. So it's all about just letting him see the puck and obviously, just kind of boxing out the front of the net as much as possible from there.
Absolutely. It's this back down to Jake Guentzel who puts it out in front. Not really sure what that hit, but it went out of play. Tampa's Montreal's kind of allowing them to get near the net. You can see even when Kucherov is down there on the goal line in that Caufield snipe area, I don't think they think he's going to shoot because he hasn't really shown that. He's looking for the cross seam pass, but Montreal is doing their best. I think that actually hit Dobesh. Guentzel's not very happy that he didn't score there. Again, a nice prime opportunity. Tampa's getting close to Dobesh, but it's getting either saved or just tipped away. And Montreal's kind of, that Tampa wants to go to these cross ice passes to really make you scramble. But when they're just getting the puck and they got to rip it, so far, and again, I don't imagine that's going to stay for the whole series, it's been working in Montreal's favor as it looks like Josh Anderson once again picks up the puck with 40 seconds left in this power play and a minute left in the period. He dumps it all the way down. Anderson so far having a fantastic period, and I'm not going to speak too soon, but the Habs penalty kill is looking like they at least know, they know their game plan, and I believe from what I'm seeing that they're sticking to it pretty well.
Yeah, and that's let Dobesh see the puck and really block, don't allow any seam passes. And it's a really great combo, right, to allow yourself to win. So, yeah, it's, again, we have to say Jakub Dobesh here, with Josh Anderson, is really one of the standouts of this game so far for the Montreal Canadiens. How good has he looked? And, even just his skating within the crease, his ability where he's able to come out of his net so quickly at times, as we saw just recently in this power play, to be able to challenge very quickly as well, to obviously to be able to challenge the shooters as well. And I just love that about the personality of the young Jakub Dobesh.
Absolutely. What is happening here? Hold on. It looked like a high stick, but it looks like it's Brandon Hagel heading off the ice.
Woo!
Wait a second here. So Brandon Hagel skates in front of Caden. Oh, they called the interference. Oh, what is going on? Okay, Jesse, what is happening? All 4 penalty calls in this game have been soft by playoff standards. I feel like I'm not crazy. I will take it. I think that is interference. Jon Cooper's not happy. That's interference by the book. Caden Gooley had his stick out, and it was only when he got hit that he ended up poking a guy in the face. Now, the question is, are the refs going to call offsetting minors? The only reason that the stick hit the face is because Gooley got hit. And Jon Cooper is saying 4 minutes. Was someone bleeding? Oh boy, I don't know what's happening here. So let's see. Let's watch this again. As it's Caden Gooley following Brayden Point. Brandon Hagel. Oh, yeah, that's close, the timing. Brandon Hagel hits Caden Gooley, but it's Brandon Hagel who kind of gets the stick up in Brayden Point's face. What is the call here, Jesse? This is an interesting one. I don't know if I've seen this in a minute.
That looks like it was Gooley's stick, though.
It was.
I think that does, yeah, that's it. But yeah, it's not being helped at all by Point, which seems to kind of bring it right into his face there. It's going to be wow. This seems like a little bit of a little bit of a makeup call here, and we're just hoping that this is the end of the soft calls here going forward.
Yeah, it looks like, I think it sounds like they're going to call an offsetting minor. And I think they're going to look and review it. So there's a double minor that they're calling on Gouli because Brayden Point was bleeding. So let's see what happens here. So the stick is out. The hit and the stick happens at a very similar time. So you could argue that the stick only got up because of Brandon Hagel's interference, but the stick contact and the body contact were at the very similar times, and it looks
it's
like
the interference that causes it.
That's
which
what
is like,
thought.
for me, that's the main thing in all this, right? Like, if it's not happening without the interference of points, so you almost have to feel like that's the main point in all of this, really, pun intended.
Gotta be kidding me. I think they're calling it.
Wow.
I think they're calling it. Oh. 4 minute for high sticking on Kaiden Guhle.
That is brutal.
So
the boys are going to rally.
Oh my god. That is now he was bleeding and it was Guhle's stick. So as much as I want to argue it, like it's such a hard one. Like I still think that, like, how can you call the interference first, not call the high stick, and then only be like, oh well, maybe we should, maybe we should. And yeah, actually they're crying for it. Let's do it. I don't. Marty is not happy. Marty is absolutely shocked. Guhle's stick is not hitting the face of Brayden Point if Brandon Hagel doesn't back into him out of nowhere,
Exactly.
setting a big pick. So, like, this is kind of ridiculous. This whole game has been full of BS calls, soft calls so far for both teams, right? Again, I'm not pretending like that interference, whatever, the too many men, I don't know. Kaiden Guhle is just only now heading off to the box. So it's actually, I think it's going to be a 4-on-4, right? I think that's how this will work out, because it's two offsetting minors, and then Guhle will get the extra minor. So I believe it should be Guhle slams.
I can live with that.
Yeah, Alex.
As long as we're not getting penalized off the sequence.
It is
of
a power
play.
play. It is just a 2-minute power play, and it's Alex. Okay, so that's how it works. I always forget the rule when it comes to a double minor and a minor at the same time. Marty is not happy. 12.2 seconds here left in the period. Montreal does win the face-off. It's Matheson who gets it, and he's just going to clear it around the boards, and it looks like Suzuki hopefully will clear it. No, he doesn't. He puts it back into the corner, but with 3 seconds, it looks like the time is going to run out. We're going to set this up for the second period. It's going to be a Tampa Bay power play for a while to start the second period, but that's it. Habs up 1-0, Jesse. This is, you know what? As much as the refs have been bad, the Habs are coming out with the lead. We are going through the challenges here. It's challenge after challenge. These bad calls. Montreal having to go on the penalty kill after penalty kill after penalty kill. And it doesn't matter. You're still out here with a 1-0 lead. So as much as a lot of stuff is not going our way, I am incredibly impressed with what Montreal has been able to show Tampa in this first period. Adversity, that's how you get stronger. And honestly, I kind of love it.
Good first period overall for the Montreal Canadiens here to have the lead on the road in this all-important first game here. And again, playing very good 5v5. And it's just about controlling what we can, right? We're not going to be in control of everything. A little bit of bad luck. The good news is it's not like some sort of really undisciplined thing from Guhle that we're seeing here. It's really kind of a tic-tac play that's happening very, very quickly. And again, I think that's interference, and Martin St. Louis very much is feeling like the same way that we are here. That's the precursor to everything, right? It's hard to call a high sticking penalty if like it's the interference that is causing the high sticking penalty here. So again, the Montreal Canadiens, I'll mention this earlier, and I didn't want to get ahead of myself, but we've had to battle the refs more than once here. We're not saying that that's going to be, and I don't think that the Habs should have the victim mentality here, because again, like we're on the road here, but the Habs know in their room that like they're not fearful of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it's not because they have false hope or confidence or just young kind of delusions for no reasons, because they know the type of team that they are. In fact, they finished the season right with the same amount of points as them. It's only from the tiebreaker that the Tampa Bay Lightning actually have the home ice advantage. So their conference is very well rooted. To be able to start off strong here is very important. The fact that obviously there's a little bit of an intermission to start off the period there, or their penalty, even though it's not going to take too much time off of it, is always does kind of statistically take away a little bit of the efficiency of that power play there. So it's just about the Habs playing well. They've been playing good 5v5. It's just not about like getting dragged into like indisciplined type of play. But Josh, like from what I'm seeing, that's not really been the issue so far. So I'm feeling happy with this first period of play.
Yeah, me too. I really love it. And I saw someone in the chat call for the Dobesh animation. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's up the audio on this a little bit too, so you guys can actually hear it. But yeah, like there he is. Let's just let that sound out. Yeah, unbelievable stuff. But Dobesh again, standing on his head there. But all the conversation right now in the chat is about the refs. So how are you feeling about the refs? I want to hear you guys sound off in the chat, because that's what we're all kind of upset about. Again, like, it's just been soft. And I saw someone say, like, how are they not even discussing that slash? And I will give you the answer. It's because the NHL's review system and their policy for what you can change on penalties is, in my mind, there's room for improvement, to put it diplomatically, right? Because you can only like change the outcome of a penalty, for example, if you call a major or a double minor, right? Like, you can't, if you just call a slash, you can't go back, review, and say, oops, no, never mind, I didn't, right? What has to, and the coaches can't challenge that either. They can't be like, hey, can you review this slash and go back, right? So the reason that they did it for Gouli is because the refs discussed, should we call this a double minor, just so that we can review it? And so that's what they did. They decided, retroactively actually, we weren't going to call it at first, but now we're going to call it double minor just to see if it was a double minor. Which is like, which is crazy, right? And the slash on Slaf, like, he tapped the guy's stick out of his hands. But if one ref sees it, what's going to happen? And again, even if the NHL allowed a policy to review plays like that, where's the line drawn, right? Because if you look at the rule book, Slaf does tap the stick and it falls out of the guy's hand, right? That's, by just the text of the rulebook, probably a slash. Does it ever get called? No, almost never, because that's just so incidental, right? So, like, how could you even get that call overturned? So, I don't know. I think there's room for improvement. I think number one is just getting better referees, and I think that's true not just in hockey, but across a lot of sports. But, you know, it is a hard job. I'm not saying it's not, but I definitely... I don't love the way that this has looked for the Habs in the first period, but again, I see someone in chat saying it looks like 9-on-5 for Montreal, or well, against Montreal, but again, all that said, Jesse, I'm pointing at the scoreboard, because that's really the only thing that matters after this period.
Absolutely. And again, the Montreal Canadiens should not be worried. They're playing very good here to start off this game. You definitely just feel that there should be like some tougher calls when it comes in the playoffs, right? Just like the level of play. It's like we should just keep our whistles away unless it's very obvious. Again, I feel like we're hoping that this intermission will be a chance for the refs also to just kind of regroup there. We have seen some games where they let it kind of get a little bit away from them here. But at the same time, I think we have to feel very happy with what we're seeing from the Montreal Canadiens so far. Jakub Dobesh, again, is just answering the bell. Like, I'm just feeling very good after this period, Josh. I just know if the Habs get good goaltending, they typically win a hockey game. That's what we're seeing from Jakub Dobesh so far, and that's what's got me feeling confident so far in this game going into the second period.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready. As the panel is discussing this, and there's some, it did get hit. He did get the high stick up. Look, I mean, at this point, it is the biggest point of contention in this game because, again, to give Tampa 3 straight power plays back to back to back, all in the second half of this, really all in the last, 5-6 minutes of this period? Like, it's a little odd, right? Especially since it's not like Montreal's been the overly physical team or anything, but this Tampa power play, like we said, we're gonna have to watch this heading into the start of the second. They know what they want to do, and Montreal's been doing a good job at keeping them away from that. These cross ice passes, they're not really shooting when they get it at the hash marks. They don't really want to shoot because, and I think most teams wouldn't, right? This modern NHL where you really value these high danger chances. And yes, elite snipers, they can rip the puck from wherever, but, Nikita Kucherov, he's a fantastic shooting threat, but you'd rather pass it down low to someone. And they're showing on the broadcast right now the triangle that Tampa kind of uses, right? Someone down low to Kucherov right here, who goes down to Guentzel and is looking for Brayden Point right there in that bumper spot. But Montreal has done a great job, especially Matheson, I must say, of just, like, Kucherov or Guentzel, whoever it is down low gets the puck, someone's on the ice or just like really playing that passing lane, you're almost letting them get a little closer to Dobeš. It's a calculated risk by Montreal, but again, so far it's paid off. But you have to wonder, Jesse, like, I gotta think Jon Cooper might come out in the second, try and surprise Montreal with something, because you get 2 minutes of power play, nearly a minute and 48 seconds to start the second. Like, if you can throw something weird at Montreal, it's all done within 2 minutes. Just come out and burst them. So I think Montreal is going to have to be mentally ready for this one. But honestly, the mental toughness, like, this one period of hockey, to me, is like already, like, if the players weren't locked in before, this gets you locked in, because it's adversity right away, overcoming challenges, and so far they're doing a great job, which has got to do a whole lot of good for their confidence.
And this is where a guy like Josh Anderson comes in super big, because we know that the Tampa Bay power play runs very much through Nikita Kucherov.
Yeah.
And who do we see fronting him all the time? It's obviously Josh Anderson's right there, that's been just so good with his gap control. But obviously he's a little bit of a bigger guy, right? He's got that longer reach with the stick, and he's able to block shots as well. Again, we have to say that size, like Josh Anderson provides, when the type of play, it just gets a little bit tighter on the ice. It's where the size, like, often really shines and becomes that much more important for Josh Anderson, especially on the PK, just taking some space on the ice and really being able to just clog down that side of the ice. Because if they're able to do that and focus in on Kucherov, again, that's how they're going to shut it down. It's like, and again, they might have to look, I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking for Kucherov as more of a shot option there. Just obviously they're knowing that if they're trying to go as a seam pass, they're not much going there. They're obviously going to look for him as a shot threat. And it's just about putting some bodies in front of that. But I think the whole mantra right now, again, is just getting clean looks for Dobie one way or another, and really counting on him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think you're so right. Just letting him do his job, and the team can, like we said so many times, we can score the goals. It's just a matter of not allowing too many chances. And Dobie's done a great job so far, as we are partway through the first intermission here. But I want everyone in here to just leave a like on this stream. And if you're enjoying yourself and you want to come back for some more of these, let us know. And the best way you can do that is just by one click of the like button. It means the world to us. Thank you so much for being here. We're actually going to take a look through the chat and respond to some of you guys. Now, reminder, channel members do get priority for responses and, of course, super chats if you're generous enough to do that. You do not have to. And we're going to try to get to some other people in the chat, too. A Hack Dog saying, yes, the refs have been bad, but nobody said it was going to be easy for the games in Tampa. Let's kill this penalty and get a goal around the 10-minute mark in the second. Watch parties at church. We need a cut, man, says Jason Patrick. I like that take too, right? I love that positive mentality, and that's what we always love to bring, right? That, you know what? Like, no one said it would be easy. They're making it as hard as they can on us. The refs, Tampa, whoever. It doesn't matter. Montreal you got to push through this. You don't have a choice. You got to come out strong in the second period. And again, you kill this penalty. Jesse, Tampa starting off the playoffs 0-for-3 on the power play. Can you imagine what Jon Cooper and Tampa fans would be feeling seeing Montreal's penalty kill put their power play to shame to start this game like 3 times in a row?
And again, that's a really big way of getting momentum in this game. And that's what it really comes down to, is playing our level of game. And if we're able to do that, that's going to really be the key to victory. But you know, Josh, like, that's a role where we're fighting the refs. Sometimes we're having that Montreal Canadiens, they even need to fight, like, you know, obviously media, even from Canada. So it's just the big reason of why we're bringing the Habs propaganda here on Habs Digest, why we needed to do the watch along here on the first game of the postseason. Again, a great way to start off here, just because we know we need to bring some love for this team, right? Because I think that they go so hard for the people that they're playing in front that it's only right that we're really giving the love back. And of course, we're having a lot of faith in this team of what they're capable of. You know, we've just always known from the beginning that going into the playoffs, they're not here just to kind of obviously just pay homage to the Tampa Bay Lightning, but they know that they can truly win this series.
They can compete. They absolutely know it. Jason Patrick saying, yo, is anyone in here not subscribed? Now's the time. Well, thank you, Jason, for doing our job for us. Make sure you do hit the subscribe button, because if you're new here, we literally post videos about the Montreal Canadiens every single day, or doing streams like this every day, 7 days a week, no breaks. It doesn't happen unless there's some extenuating circumstances. And hey, we're going to have a whole lot of stuff throughout this entire playoff run. So if you're enjoying this, make sure you let us know by subscribing, because then you'll get notified of all the stuff that we put out after. So thank you so much, Jason. The Jays finally won, says Jason. Martin Kindler, another channel member, saying this team will battle through adversity and win this game. I also like Mark's nickname in chat here, Mark Enders, I guess. Josh Thor Anderson, God of Thunder. Hey, I mean, I don't mind that either. But I love this. The big thing in the chat right now, what a lot of people are saying is the Habs will fight through adversity. And, you know, we've come back in lots of games. We've had leads that have been blown. Like, you know, what I love being a bit of a chaotic team for the last few years and having a lot of the core still around, you learn, like, to get down in games and just fight back, or to get the lead and just, like, to know what it's like for other teams to get desperate. Because when other teams get desperate, they can be very hard to play against. It's very easy to make a mistake against a team that's fighting, who has nothing to lose. Montreal has seen that time and time again for years now. And to be able to come into this series, like, Montreal is the team with nothing to lose. This has already been a fantastic season. Now, that's not to say I wouldn't be horribly disappointed, you wouldn't be horribly disappointed, and the fans and the players wouldn't be disappointed if Montreal, didn't win this series. I still really want it to happen, and I wouldn't be disappointed if it didn't happen. But it's not to say the season would be a failure. So Tampa, like we talked about it before, they're an aging team, still like falling. They never really have yet, but a lot of these guys are getting older, and they still have some fantastic talent, some good young talent too, but it's not really their time anymore. At least it doesn't feel like it. And Montreal has a chance to prove it right now. Again, Jesse, it's crazy. The youngest team in playoff history is outdoing this perennial contender that everyone seems to talk about. So I'm very thrilled, as much as there are some negatives to this first period.
Yeah, but again, a guy like Phil Deneau, again, has really proven his value. Some key acquisitions, even though we were a little bit more silent at the trade deadline, it's really right now when you're taking a couple penalties here in game one where you're really happy that you're having a guy like Phil Deneau on your team, absolutely being a huge difference maker when it really matters here for the Montreal Canadiens. But yeah, you have to feel like with Tampa, the Montreal Canadiens really have every reason to feel confident come into this series that they can really, of course, even though that Tampa has won for many years, I don't want to say that they're exactly like the Toronto Maple Leafs, because that was like a very quick fall off, and Tampa did accomplish a lot over the course of this year. That being said, at a macro level, you can sometimes see the certain signs when they're not quite at their peak anymore, right? There's a little bit of chinks in the armor. There's some cracks in the wall right now. And some of those losses in the first rounds, even though maybe against, a team that went on to win the Stanley Cup, are indicative of that all the same. But again, like, this is only right. It's kind of like, obviously, for the Montreal Canadiens to have that success, it's obviously you need to be the champ, you need to beat them first. So it's obviously a big part of just obviously going through the motions and beating a team with a lot of experience in order to really gain that and get to that next level.
Yeah, and last year was just a bit of a trial by fire, really. You go in against a fantastic Capitals team. It was like, they were a tough team to play against, skilled, physical, and Montreal was a little bit outmatched, but that's what you learn from, right? And so far, that past playoff experience is really showing itself here today. So obvious, right? Montreal is playing with a style, like, this is very different from the team that we saw starting the playoffs last year, right? If we look back to last year, these first few games against Washington, it was like, oh boy, like, we were hanging on, and like, we still believe, but it was like, it was pretty clear, like, Washington, they had the edge for big chunks of those games. Montreal had their great stretches, but it was okay, right? This game, like, so far at 5v5, like, I don't know, like, and even special teams. Montreal's power play generated a couple of chances. Tampa's power play generated a couple of chances, but like, no team even has a power play goal. Montreal's the team that's winning. The 5v5 play, Tampa's had to dump and chase. Like, Montreal started the game with a few more dump and chase chances than Tampa, but as the game period kind of went on, the players, their legs started to fill in, or, set in. Montreal's guys started picking up their speed. Tampa ended up being a little bit tired a lot of the time, chipping the puck out of their zone, heading off for changes, and again, that's what led to that first too many men on the ice penalty. So again, like, yeah, this is a time to rest, but like, I don't know, like, I think there's a whole lot this year that is very different from how last year started that really has me optimistic for how the rest of this game and this playoff run is going to go.
For sure. And it's because they very much look like the quicker team. And the moments, like, the more moments that they can have where they very much look like the quicker team, and the more opportunities that they have to do that, will obviously give them a much better chance of winning this game. And that's going to be really huge in this. But again, I think it often just comes down to the forecheck, as we often hear assistant coach Slafkovsky often talk about so much, that's really at the root of the game, and how they're able to score this first goal for the Habs. Like, winning those puck battles, right? Like, it's going to be a lot of skill, but sometimes in the playoffs, it just simplifies. Get on the forecheck, win a puck battle, and, have a guy like Josh Anderson at the front of the net. I just go top cheese with it. So that's going to be a big thing here. And what I'm looking for the Habs in this second period is, like, their opportunities are going to come. It's going to be about counterattacking basically once they're making some mistakes and getting in on the rush. But it's about playing like that, just that safer defensive game, knowing that your opportunities are going to come if you play the game the right way.
Yeah, and that's something that I think they're learning so far. Again, like, crazy that it was a forechecking Alex Carrier behind the net who poked it to Josh Anderson like that. We all call different players. I'd be lying if I said that Anderson didn't come to mind when I was thinking of first goal scorers. I was like, it'd be poetic, right? But I'm gonna guess Caufield. But like, I don't think anyone would have ever said Anderson from Carrier. You'd at least have a secondary assistant there. So I absolutely love that, right? The unpredictability too. But unpredictability in terms of who scores the goal, well, it comes from, just being a team, right? Being a team players where everyone can get their opportunities. And you keep mentioning Danault, and I saw someone in the chat who said Danault had a great hit in the first two. Great to see. Phil knows what it takes, man. He's getting older too. Like, he wants to win a cup. He was in LA. Their window was now gone. He got traded to Montreal for like a second round pick. Like, yeah, it is what it is. And he's here and he knows he wants pizza. I want pizza. I haven't had pizza in a while. I want an excuse to get some pizza. So let's get this win. I want to see him coming up to the post game. Do you think, Jesse, that they have a pizza spot ready on the phone for after this game, or is that just a thing for Montreal home games?
Oh, I think they have it on lock. I think they want to get the tradition back going. Phil's gonna sniff out the pizza one way or another.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like a dog, like a sniffing dog. Phil Danault can smell a Papa John's from 5 miles away. It's
the States. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, there's definitely some good pizza, but yeah, here we go. All right, so we see Josh Anderson out here. They were just showed the replay of They showed the goal that he scored, the diving goal against Tampa in the Cup Finals in 2021. That did win Montreal their only game in that series. Papa John's is not even pizza though, says Violet. I mean, I've had it once in my life when I was in the States, and it was mediocre. But to be fair, Canada has some mediocre spots too. I don't know. Does anyone here like pizza? I don't know. Like, Jesse, do you like it? I feel like I've had it twice ever, and both times I was just like, this doesn't even taste like bread.
No, but the wings might be the saving grace.
Fair enough. I've never tried them. Are they not bad?
Not bad.
Not bad. Okay. Well, see, Violet said I'm a New Yorker. Well, okay, that's different. Okay, you got your own stuff here. Like, I'm here on an island in Newfoundland in the middle of the Atlantic. Like, we got some good pizza, but like, come on. Anyway, and off goes the second period. Here's the audio for you wonderful people. Just on in the background is Tampa that wins the opening faceoff. Jesse, we got to get off to a hot start in this period. Montreal already has the legs. Jake Evans already threatening to like intercept a pass. I don't know, like, I feel like there's a bit of pep in their step, and I'm ready to see how this changes. The second period with a great play again from Evans at the line. That's what I'm saying, man. They're starting off hot here.
If you can't be hyped for playoff hockey, then there's something wrong for sure. And again, your boy Jake Evans is coming through when it matters so much. Again, another solid defensive player against somebody with size when it matters as well.
100%, and it looks like it's going to be a delay. Sorry for interrupting, but I saw the ref's hand go up, and it's a delayed penalty coming to Tampa Bay. Jakub Dobeš is back on the ice. And who is it? I don't know. With 1 minute 9 seconds left, is it Nikita Kucherov going? Oh, a high stick. Oh my goodness, that's a brutal one. Going for a stick lift on Alex Carrier doesn't quite work. Carrier takes a stick to the face, and I know it's gonna be 4-on-4 for a bit, but taking Kucherov off the ice, I know he doesn't really do much on the PK, but to get him off the ice at all, Jesse, I'll take that any day of the week.
And just to negate that power play right at the beginning, again, when we're speaking about momentum, this is going to be a key word as we're breaking down the game here. Who's able to really steal it? Again, plays like this is just so huge for Germany, who really gets that all-important momentum.
100%. Carrier looked like he was bleeding. He was wiping it. There was blood on his fingers. There's currently blood on his hand, but the ref calls just a minor? Anyway, I don't pretend to know. I don't know.
The speed. They're not keeping up with us, Josh.
No, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, Montreal is like, we're too fast. Like, Tampa's rushing. Like, they're down. They're down 1-0. They're rushing, right? They need to get back into this game, but they're not able to do it. As Nikita Kucherov and Brandon Hagel are the two in the box for Tampa. And, like, again, like I said, it's 4-on-4 right now. I don't know if I could pick maybe Brayden Point, but, like, if you talk about 4-on-4 guys that you would want on the ice if you're Tampa, it's probably Kucherov and Hagel and like Point. It's like some of these other guys that you'd want. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a fantastic start to the period for Montreal as it's JJ Moser who circles back into his own zone. Look, I think Tampa's going to want to probably kill off a lot of this 4-on-4. I mean, their power play wasn't really working, but we'll see what they can do. I mean, they don't have their top guys out on the ice. This Lilleberg, I really do not like Lilleberg, simply because when we played them a couple times, Jesse, he's wearing that full mask, which I don't have a problem with, but he kept going after guys. hitting them when he knew they couldn't hit him back because he has the mask. So anyway, that's just my little side as Kirby Dach tries to bring the puck out here now with Lane Hutson on the ice. Did you notice in the first two, Jesse? I just kind of thought of it after. Lane Hutson double shifted the Habs power play, didn't he?
Yeah, and again, I am a big fan of that call. We know Lane Hutson, the Energizer Bunny. He's got energy in the tank for days, so why not double shift him there?
Yeah, I love it. And Lane Hutson's out there now in the 4-on-4 as Brayden Point's in the corner, tangled up with Mike Matheson, who's playing him hard. Point's a bit of a dog, too, as the puck comes back out. It's Dastu who's going to send it all the way back over. Tried to hit McDonough. McDonough recovers in his own zone. It's now 5-on-4 for Montreal for 50 seconds. We got just a brief power play, but it's Tampa who controls the puck, and you got to think they're going to try to burn off every single second that they can get here. They get it at center ice, back into their own zone. This might end up just going back to 5-on-5 as it's Tampa, again, who gains the zone in Montreal's zone. Yanni Gourde behind the net. Nick Suzuki recovers. With 30 seconds left in the power play, it's Lane Hutson who circles back. Gourde on the forecheck, but here come the Montreal Canadiens. It's Cole Caufield coming up through center, giving it back to Nick Suzuki. Bit of an odd-man rush here. Yeah, Demidov gets the puck, and he passes across. It's ricochets, but it goes to Slav, who gives it back to Hutson. We got 15 seconds left. Hutson fires it on net. It goes wide. Demi gets it on the right half wall. It's back to Slafkovsky. Feeds it in front. Nick Suzuki all alone. Didn't really see any passing options as he circles back in front. It's Lane Hutson. 5 seconds left in the power play. Back to Suzuki. Down to Caufield. Down to the goal line. You know he can shoot it from there. Seam pass to Demi, who rips it. It's saved by Vasilevskiy, loose in front. Slafkovsky can't get it, and Tampa gets the puck back. Jesse, I mean, we only had one little possession as it's back to Caufield out of play. Montreal had their chances there on that power play. Look, making the most of their 30 seconds. You gotta think Tampa is terrified right now.
Just showing how lethal this team can really be, as well, not needing much time. We're seeing a lot of those, obviously, like they're going cross ice with Demi down low. So obviously they're continuing to threaten, and obviously our star players are not needing much opportunity to really show out.
No, absolutely. I mean, it was great. I mean, Demi there, a nice little tip in front by Slav, nearly got the loose puck, banged it in. The shots were only 9-5 here, 3 minutes into the second period, and you want Montreal to get a few more shots than that. But hey, it is what it is. Montreal still up 1-0 on the scoreboard. Kapanen wins the draw. It's back to Matheson, dumps it into the corner. It's Kapanen down low. This line here, whoa, looked like Kirby got tripped, but Kirby's getting kind of manhandled here in front of the net. I mean, again, with Kirby standing in front of the net, Jesse, I want to see him be super physical because I think that's how he can really impact this game.
Yeah, but I love that we're starting to create a little bit of chaos in front of the net there and on the power play. And again, just getting them a little bit on their heels here, I think is just super important over the course of the game, and really just tiring out that Tampa decor over the game is going to be a big part of forcing Vasilevskiy in some really tough saves, because Slav was having some really big opportunities there on the doorstep.
100%, as Jack turned it over at the blue line to James, but ended up escaping with some great defensive play. As this Montreal back down in Tampa zone, some more sustained offensive pressure, something we've been looking for. Another point shot. We've been settling for a few point shots. This is Struble that fires that one down as Corey Perry gets the puck back. The top line, I'm thinking it's probably going to head off for a change here. Now, although, who knows, is Tampa coming back into Montreal's zone. Brandon Hagel played well by Jaden Struble into the wall. Oh, a cross pass to Darren Radish, but once again, Jesse, as we're talking about, yeah, it's Darren Radish. He's got a hard shot, and but Jakub Dobeš, clear path, he's going to save the puck as Sorelli tries to get in his face, but like, it's been the MO this whole game. Montreal just clearing guys out, letting Dobeš just see the puck. People aren't beating them clean. At least it's going to be very tough to.
Absolutely, and you have to feel that the Montreal Canadiens do have the momentum right now in this game, just about kind of tightening some things on their end. But again, it's starting to open up here in the second period. We're starting to see the speed for the Montreal Canadiens shine through all the more.
Yeah, 100%. It's Darren Radish, who again had a fantastic year, a near point per game player, wonderful player in Tampa Bay, hard shot. One of the most ridiculous career paths I think I've ever seen, ever, literally ever. Like, it's completely insane what he's doing. But Arbor Jack has, really looked like he wants some blood. He's been physical. I like people saying Bolduc looking good. I agree. I think Zach Bolduc has used his speed and physicality very well so far, Jesse. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get on the scoreboard within the first couple games of this series.
Yeah, and again, like playoffs with the physicality that he brings, a little bit of jam in his game as well. This might be his coming out party. And again, there's guys that play really good in the regular season, more of a playoff guy. I feel like Bolduc can be both, but where he really shines even more so in the playoffs. And he's just making really good decisions sometimes of just getting the puck in deep again and allowing to get that forecheck going, which has been really big. But again, we just want to give a shout out to Jakub Dobeš. How good has his rebound control looked so far in this game? Like, this guy's just been like a black hole just so many times, right? Where like any pucks has come into it, and really he's just not allowing any secondary opportunities from there.
That's a fantastic point, because that has been one of his biggest weaknesses at the NHL level. I mean, even through this year, like, you see some advanced cards, and you watch the games, you look at the cards after, like expected rebounds and actual rebounds. Like, he gives up a lot of rebounds traditionally. He is a bit of a chaotic goalie, but it's a great point this game. Like, he's absorbed the puck. And if he does give up a rebound, it's not to a high danger area. Now we'll see if that continues. But like, and again, I think part of that is Montreal's clear effort to try and just let him have a clear view of it, right? Because the more shots in traffic, the more, rebounds he's going to give up. If someone like a Fowler is a lot better at through traffic being able to absorb the puck, but Dobeš has really shown that he's able to do that so far. As now we just crossed the 15-minute mark of this second period. How hyped are we? We got to see some GHG in the chat as Demi with the filthy dangle tries to rip a backhand, though it looks like that's going to give Tampa a chance coming the other way. Nikita Kucherov out in transition here, sends it to the net. It's Gage Gonsalves who tips it down low. It's JJ Moser back to Gonsalves. He's looking out in front, but it's, who was that? I think it was Carrier with a fantastic defensive play to not allow that to happen. Montreal does clear it out of the zone as this Demi once again hustling after it. Ivan Demidov, Jesse, I mean, these last few games of the season, he really came into his own with his confidence, learning what he can get away with, what he can't get away with, and already this game pulling some filthy moves out from his hat.
Yeah, and we're loving to see that creativity in the offensive zone and coming very close to connecting, and you got to feel like that's going to come. But you just want to see like the creative juices flowing, because like if he's doing that, they're coming close on opportunities. It's just a matter of time before that's really going to come to fruition for him. And again, just another note on the defensive side of the game that I'm liking from Demi is the back check, like his ability just to be able to come back and just to disturb plays. I'm just loving the hustle that I'm seeing from this young player so far.
Yeah, he's really leaving his all out there on the ice. As Kirby gets in on the forecheck, lays a bit of a hit, which I like to see. As is Tampa, though, who does come out through center. This is Lilleberg again, looking towards the middle, can't connect on the pass. It's Kirby who recovers the puck, sends it to Bolduc, and we'll see how Montreal does coming out in transition here. As Zach Bolduc sends it over the third line. Arbor Xhekaj coming in. Oh my goodness, Arbor Xhekaj. We're just with the reverse hit on Lilleberg. Didn't knock him down, but I mean, already this game, Jesse, that physicality from Xhekaj, we knew what we needed to see from him. We knew, I'm sure, what Marty wanted to see from him, but he is showing it so far tonight.
Yeah, and again, he is so going to factor in such a huge way in this series. Again, like we're a fast team, but you can't go around that. You need to play that old school type of hockey when it truly matters. There's no way that the Montreal Canadiens, I believe, are winning a Stanley Cup without the likes of an Arbor Xhekaj or even a Jaden Struble that could truly bring that physical side, and a Caden Gooley as well, which I don't think gets enough respect for how much he really puts wears his heart on his sleeve for the Montreal Canadiens. But it's such a big part of it. If we can get that balance, again, playing that speed game on our D-core with Xhekaj, really bringing that jam, we're going to be cooking.
100% as Cole Caufield comes out in transition after a couple of great opportunities by Tampa. Nick Suzuki down to Slafkovsky. It's getting very physical right now. The refs are letting it go, it seems like, in this second period, which I do love. It's Slafkovsky who steals the puck in front of the net. He was looking for Hutson on that cross-ice sauce. It looks like Tampa's they're going to go for a change. Hagel's been out there a while. But Jesse, we got some crazy super chats coming in the chat right now as this game's going on. We will get to them at the next stoppage of play. Thank you so much, by the way, to Doofus and to Doug. We will get to those in just a moment. My goodness, as soon as there's a whistle, I promise. This game has been full of action and full of incredible support from you guys. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being here. As it's Montreal back out in transition. Josh Anderson taking on 2 Lightning players at once. Dude, like, what is up with Anderson? He's absolutely everywhere tonight, though it is Yanni Gourde who comes in and shoots it on Dobeš, and that's the whistle. So, Jesse, I just gotta say, $50 from Doofus Rex, saying, thanks, Josh and Jesse. You're both awesome. Here's a little love and support from Muffin Mouse and Doofus Rex. Some such long-time supporters. Incredible. Thank you so much. I mean, that's all we can say. We love to spread the positivity to all the wonderful people and enjoy the game, and we are just so glad that you and Muffin Mouse can enjoy every day with us.
Absolutely. And we thank you so much, Uvas and Muffus Mouse. We've seen you so much like over the years, and your support. We appreciate, we remember it, and your messages and just the kind words over the years. We truly appreciate it. So nice being able to celebrate these moments here together as this team is growing over the years. And yes, we believe that there's many special moments to come, and we believe we're going to look back at these moments fondly all along the way that really allowed us to get there. So thank you guys so much for being such a major part of all of this.
It really has been amazing, and from every single person who has ever gotten a channel membership, who has donated, who has been here in the chat, like, it means so much to allow us to keep doing this. So thank you for sticking around. But we also got Doug, saying I'm more than hyped. $2.79. Guys, I would need more likes on Doofus Rex's and Doug's messages. 5 and 7 is not enough. We need to see those numbers going up. Leave them some love for supporting the channel for so long. Doug, of course, a long-time member. Jesse, we gotta have a nice chat with Doug and the channel members this week, but or the Rocket Richard tier members. And you know what? I think the hype is more than deserved. The fans are ready. 1-0 Montreal. Montreal has all the momentum. I mean, what else could we ask for?
And we're just seeing Josh Anderson just shaking it up and, with the refs and, starting to get under the skin of Tampa Bay. You have to feel it's just making me feel so happy, Josh, that again, like we could play that skill game, but we got those type of guys that can answer the bell because, I mean, the Montreal Canadiens, they get some flack, right, for saying, oh, you don't have that type of team. Like when we're trying to say we absolutely can play that type of hockey as well, and the Montreal Canadiens are really showing it. And again, like not only can we play it, I think we got one of the best enforcers still in the game, and Arbor Jack, one of the guys that can really drop the gloves the best. Obviously, Josh Anderson, no slouch when it comes to that. Jaden Struble, right, is actually low-key amazing when it really comes down to that as well. So just so nice seeing these players really knowing what their role is. And again, like having seen Jack Eye playing well, Anderson playing well is huge because, spoiler alert in all of this chat, Nick Suzuki and Cole Caufield maybe have been a little bit quieter. We're going to see them go off. Like, I'm not a betting man. We're not advocating that, but like, there's a solid chance, right? Like, we're talking about over 100 points for Nick Suzuki. Like, whenever you're watching a Montreal Canadiens game, you can probably expect that Nick Suzuki's going to factor in on the score sheet at some point in time. Now, the odds are that he's probably going to do that here for the Habs here tonight. So if we can just continue to get that depth, that the top guys are going to show up when it matters. And you have to feel like that's what allows to take us over the top.
Yeah, like those guys, Suzuki will get on the score sheet one way or another. Like it always feels like he does, even if you don't even remember it happening. As once again, some questionable referee. I don't even know what's going on here. I didn't even notice the penalty at first, but it is a 4-on-4. I don't know. Like, it just feels like it's tough. We can't catch a break right now. But 4-on-4 hockey, I mean, Jesse, I gotta think that favors Montreal a little bit. Like, I don't know. Tampa's really skilled. And again, they do have Kucherov and Hagel on the ice now for this 4-on-4. Well, at least the ability to use them. But Montreal with Cole Caufield, Lane Hutson, Nick Suzuki, like, one of the best 4-on-4 lineups and 3-on-3 lineups. But we're not going to get that at any point soon in the league. So I think like playing hard or fast and loose here is going to play to Montreal's advantage as they get the puck out of their own zone here.
Yeah, absolutely. And part of my laughter, I just can't love seeing Josh Anderson grab a Tampa Bay player by the throat. Yeah. We're not trying to get demonetized here, but just love seeing a little bit of strong violence there from Josh Anderson when it really matters here for this team. And again, just bringing a little bit of that gamemanship. And again, just on a side note, I'm loving how the boys are really rallying for each other. Like anybody's trying to get something going with Hudson. This game here, the boys are having none after it. They're getting after them really quickly. I think that's really important, protecting some of our star players.
100%. I completely agree. Protecting the stars is going to matter so much. As Montreal finally gets out of their own zone, the lineup has been Evans, Newhook, Carrier, and Matheson, though it looks like Montreal's going for the change now that they have possession of the puck with about a minute and 10 seconds left on this 4-on-4 as Matheson circles back and gives it to Lane Hutson, who gives it back right to Matheson. And it looks like Caufield's on the ice. It's hard to tell sometimes from the stream. It looks like Caufield and Suzuki with Matheson and Hutson, but I assume Matheson's going to go off for a change right now, and we're going to see Gouli come out. But here's Lane Hutson, sending it back across. Looks like Hayden Gouli. Back down is Nick Suzuki. Looking across to Cole Caufield at the blue line. Caufield looking back to Suzuki. Suzuki skating down the right side, heading into the corner. Chips it to himself. Got Cirelli and Radish around him. Turns it over. It's Darren Radish, who's looking to break it out. No, he takes a second, takes a step. With 10.5 minutes left in this period, this 4-on-4 has not been exciting, Jesse. I want to see some more high-speed stuff. It's just been teams trying to play the possession game. That's not what I'm here for.
No, but at the same time, the Montreal Canadiens are doing a very good job of playing sound positional hockey and protecting the front of the net, especially when things get a little bit more open. You're on 4-on-4. You got to know the situation that you're in, be able to give a little bit of space, but at the same time protect where really matters the most, which has been a sore spot for the Montreal Canadiens in the past. So the fact that they're able to adjust in some really key games here and know really, obviously, and have just some solid gap control is a really solid evolution for this team.
Yeah, exactly. Just being able to, again, do what you need to do, and that's all. You don't need to do any more than than that. And oh, it's a bit of a turnover there. Nick Suzuki still on the ice. You got to think he wants to go off for a change. Kirby misses the puck as he was trying to get it in the corner, but he's hustling right back down to get it. But it's Tampa that recovers. It's Moser, though. He's going to have to hustle. Josh Anderson beats him. I mean, Anderson is absolutely everywhere here tonight. It's Oliver. I think that was Anderson. Kapanen. Or is that Kirby? I can't even tell. No, that is Anderson. Okay, good. It's Anderson out there with Kirby and Kapanen. Kirby keeps falling, but that's okay. 5 for the point, scores! Another goal for Montreal. A point shot tipped in front by Josh Anderson. Unbelievable. Josh Anderson, the power horse, second goal of the game. I cannot believe it, Jesse. This man is on fire. He has the A on his chest. He has killed Tampa Bay before. He knows what to do. He steps up in the playoffs. He's physical. He's in front of the net. He's winning the puck battles. He is the reason we are up 2-0 in this game.
And I mean, what an amazing zone entry, just make it happen. It just comes from entering the Tampa zone with pace. We get back, we're able to recover some pucks. We're creating some havoc, right? And I'm just loving what I'm seeing from this line right now. This was a very important goal here to get a little bit of a cushion here in game one here on the road. What more can we say about Josh Anderson, a power horse, what he's provided for this team right now?
Oh, I think they're going to review it, though. That looked like a high stick when they showed the replay, and oh no, the ref got his headset on. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Yeah, 2-0 lead would be great, and even if this is called back, that's fine. Again, that's... Oh, Jesse, this is close.
I hope it's still good.
That looks right at the crossbar. But look, regardless, the momentum, right? The momentum.
Still be good then.
Yeah, they called it a goal on the ice. So that means that it gotta be irrefutable. Oh my goodness. Some people in chat are saying it's a good goal, but I don't know. I mean, let's watch the replay here. Look at the traffic. I like Kirby pushing the... Oh, from that angle, that looked...
It's hard to imagine, but
it's where he makes contact. It's where he makes contact with the puck as well. And his stick looks at a lower point when it actually makes contact with the puck there to deflect it.
Yeah, it looks like it hits the blade, and from the first... Oh, let's see. No goal. Okay. Well, that's all right. You know what? The momentum, still. Josh Anderson, what a game so far from Josh Anderson. You know what? It doesn't matter. Like, it does matter. I wish we could have got it. People say now they changed it. Now, I think they said they called a good goal on the ice. Because you need to announce the call before you go to review it, because then, if you call it no goal, you need pretty clear evidence that it is a goal, and if you call it a good goal, vice versa. But Josh Anderson, in their heads, Jesse, what I loved about that possession from Montreal, Kirby Dach and Josh Anderson making life in front of Vasilevskiy hell. They're not making it easy for him, and that's how you got to get some goals in this series. Tampa has not been doing a great job of clearing Montreal away from their goaltender, while Montreal has, and to me, that's the difference in this game right now.
That's how you score in the playoffs, is obviously getting a lot of traffic in front of the net, letting it rip from the point. And nice to see some of our bigger players in Anderson and Dach and really battling through. And obviously nice shot from Matheson with the seeing eye puck. It's obviously a look that we're going to want to continue here. A little bit of a tough break, that one coming off the board. That being said, the Habs are playing some solid hockey with obviously half of this game now being played. So it's just about keeping it going, getting on that forecheck, and those more of those opportunities are ripe to come.
Absolutely. As a Tampa player is going down behind that, are they calling this a penalty on Josh Anderson? Charles-Edouard Dastou is on the ground, who is a very, very, very physical player. He's right up there in hits. For defensemen, Josh Anderson's going to the box. Dastou looks like he's hurt. Josh Anderson is all over this game, by the way. I need to see what happened here. How was that a penalty? What? He gets sandwiched. I feel bad because it's Evans from behind, Anderson from the front. Are they going to call it charging?
Is this a charge call? They're still discussing.
Oh, come on.
Well, come on. Anderson even steps to the... He steps to the side.
I don't think he got his head as the first.
How was that what? What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, yeah, sucks that he's hurt. You never want to see that. But just because he's down doesn't mean it's a penalty. I hate that. I need to see another angle.
That's just a physical hit. That's just a physical hit coming in the playoffs.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you got to finish that.
come on. You know what they need to do here? They need to call a major on Anderson so that they can review it. This is what I'm talking about, right? They need to go back and say, oh, we thought it was a headshot, so it's a major. That's what they're doing. I called it. Good. They called a major so they could review it. Now they're going to look. No. It's not a 5-minute major, guys. He's only saying that so that they can review it. Don't worry. I don't imagine that this is going to be a major. Dastu turns. Anderson turns.
It doesn't look like head contact to me.
No, I don't think you can call that a head. I don't think you can call that a headshot. How are we going to commercial during a review? We just went to commercial. But anyway, that's not a major. Plus Anderson's tucking his shoulder, and it's bad luck. It's Dastu who gets bumped by Evans. It's bad timing regardless. There's no way. There's no way. I mean, but again, the fact that it's called on Anderson first is what are we doing here, right? It just, I understand that was a high stick. There's no doubt. But holy crap. I mean, I've had it up to here with these refs already. You know, they're gonna have to. We got half the game left to go, but they're gonna have to do a whole lot of work to get on my good side.
For sure. At the same time, controlling what we control. The Habs are. I love to see them coming in hard on the forecheck, and for a very physical player for Tampa Bay, giving them a little bit of taste of their own medicine here. Again, the strong work just from Anderson, who's been all over this game, and Jake Evans just continues. To be honest, I want to see a lot more of that. Just coming in hard on the forecheck, finishing off our plays, which again just leads to the speed game, which allows us to be so successful.
Yeah, the speed game has been so big for us as we get the Demidov Hutson Carrier tickets.ca commercial, which is great. This is
it's your favorite.
Yeah, I love it. Jason saying it won't be a major. They call it a major so they can review. Worst case scenario is it stays a 2-minute penalty. That's my guess. I hope. Come on. David saying this is proof that Bettman doesn't want Canadian teams to win the cup. He wants to grow the American markets and knows he'll never lose any Canadian fans. Well, I mean, Edmonton has been a perennial finals candidate. But I get what you're saying. I don't know. I don't know if it is rigged or what, but I don't find it hard to say that. But
unofficial, so I don't think this is going to be a major. They haven't made the.
It's not a major.
They are going to now.
They're calling something. Here we go. What are they going to say? Say something, Rev.
After review, Montreal number 17 has 2 minutes for charging.
2 minutes for charging. Are you kidding me? You review it.
Yeah, I just think that the elements. He didn't go head hunting. He's coming with a hard strides. The puck is on.
I mean, I'm sorry. He's too fast. What are we doing?
He gets sandwiched and.
I didn't feel like that was head contact there.
About? He would have missed him.
No, it's been a little bit of a parade to the penalty box, but you know what? The boys are gonna rally here for sure.
Yes, they will.
It wasn't no head contact, but at the same time, you got to feel like the boys they're gonna be able to rally back.
Well, you gotta think so. I mean, losing one of their top penalty killers this game and Josh Anderson hurts too. But it'll be all right. But I am livid at that. That's I don't know. That just seems really unfair. It just feels unfair, and that's what I don't like about it. Yes, he was going fast, but he would have missed him if Evans didn't sandwich him into the hit. It is what it is. He was skating fast because he was trying to get possession of the puck. He would have gone in for a board battle. He even kind of went a bit out of the way. That Stu got backed into him. You call it charge because, he got hurt, so I gotta call something. What are we doing? Anyway, I like this comment here from Hackdog Jesse. Time for a shorty. That's exactly what it's time for. Shorthanded goal. Like the stream right now if you want Montreal to score a shorthanded goal, because that's exactly what we need. I'd love to see it. If Jesse, it's felt like a while since we've scored one of those.
Yeah, no, you have to feel like the Montreal Canadiens are kind of poised to that. I'd love to see Hutson getting a little bit more look on that PK as well, but no, it's at the same time, we've been battling the refs quite a bit, and we don't like to talk about it here on the show, but it seems like we do have to kind of travel that path that a lot of teams maybe don't have to deal with as much, because, I mean, that's a tough one. In playoff hockey, a lot of the time you're just seeing that, not only is that not a penalty on Anderson, but that's just a very good play of just getting it on the forecheck, finishing your check when it matters, and those are the type of hits that really creates momentum for your team and really helps to get your team going. And so again, we've had to do this many times, and hopefully this isn't an issue that continues here. But obviously, the Montreal Canadiens are being a better team with having to battle the Tampa Bay Lightning and the referees so far in this game. If they get any sort of luck, going on their one way, this game's going to separate just that much more for them.
Tampa just scored a goal. It's 1-1. We're getting screwed. Come on, man. Come on. It's Darren Radish who rips the shot. After Tampa did hit a post and Jake Evans had a fantastic block shot, I'm not happy with that. This, you know what? Again, motivation. You are facing the most clear adversity that you can get. This is it's just hard time after hard time after hard time after hard time. Really not your own fault. And now the game is tied again. You get a fresh, clean slate. Yes, Tampa scored in the power play, but you know what? They're 1 for 4 now. You're holding them, below what a good power play would be roughly. Dobesh couldn't quite get over there. I don't think he saw the pass coming. I mean, it's a great shot by Radish. Dobesh maybe should have had that. I don't think he saw the pass go across. But we got to get that one back. Shots are 13-5 right now. But Jesse, you know what? Momentum might be in Tampa's favor, but Montreal has definitely has the side of vengeance on their mind.
For sure. And again, pretty tough with just when obviously Tampa's getting so many power play opportunities, but it's going to be about the boys to really control what they can here. And you have to feel like they're going to be motivated. They know how to play that right game. And it's going to come down to that defense. It's continue to play and make some smart plays with the puck. And obviously guys like Lane Hutson, it's going to be really big. Just continue to play that smart game, play a little bit of a safer game. And I have the full faith, for Habs to be able to regain the lead in this one.
Well, later, because it's 2-1. Yeah. Tampa comes out, they start crying. I could see the tears on their faces because they didn't get a holding penalty. And then immediately they just score in front of the net. They're whining and whining and whining, but that's all right. I mean, you know what? Again, adversity. There's that's a tough turnover. Lane Hutson and Caden Gooley could not corral the puck. Caden Gooley lost. He's looking at Brandon Hagel, did the shoulder check, couldn't make the play. That's a save maybe Dobesh should have, but it's a high danger chance as Brandon Hagel puts him on the board. All right, 2-1. It was a bad giveaway, but again, all you can do is look forward in this game. What I gotta say, we gotta get more pucks on the net. We talked about this before the game. Montreal cannot come out here and have a low shot total performance. It's just not gonna fly. We have 5 shots with 7 minutes left, but Marty St. Louis is absolutely livid at the referee right now. There's a whole lot of conversation happening. I'm not really sure what they're arguing about, but I don't know. I think, Jesse, again, we've seen Montreal be in this position so many times before. We've seen them come back. We're going to get some more shots. We're going to have the game come back in our favor. It was in our momentum for a little while. Couldn't capitalize. It's in Tampa's now. And guess what? It's going to bounce back. So that's what playoffs are about. It's a game of runs here, and I think Montreal's is coming up very soon.
Yeah, for sure. It's, again, a very bad call you have to feel there on Josh Anderson. Tampa's able to get a little bit of momentum and really capitalize on it. So really 2 quick goals. Marty's really letting the refs have it right now as they should. And really that's his role here to really, allow to really protect his team to make sure that the refs aren't taking advantage. But he's really, again, calling them out as he should here. So hopefully that's going to help to regulate this game for the rest of it.
Hope so. I mean, the refs, there's always this thing, right? The refs are on the side of the veteran coach, the veteran team. They, well, you're young, you don't know as much. I don't like that. So Marty's giving him an earful, as he should, like you said. And Montreal's just got to come back and fight through it. But, all things considered, again, 5 shots through 33 minutes of game time is not going to fly in a playoff setting. So we got to see how Montreal bounces back here. We got to see how you respond and retaliate to this. Demidov lays a nice big hit here as they continue to forecheck. So I think Montreal has done a good job playing a physical game so far. And Tampa, yeah, they've capitalized on a very questionable penalty call and then just a little rough turnover behind your own net. It's not like Montreal hasn't had chances, but again, I am really not unhappy with how this game has gone, right? One more bounce. Josh Anderson's goal doesn't get called back. This is a completely different game, so I'm excited to see how they bounce back here.
Yeah, a lot of hockey to be played here. And again, we know that the Montreal Canadiens are very good in close games and also in coming back. They're one of the best teams in being able to do that in the NHL. It's all about that momentum, right? And that's why we've been talking about it all game is really just a quick shift and really Tampa's just a 1-goal lead again, but not too much here. A lot of hockey still basically Very close to still half a hockey game left here, so lots of opportunity for Habs to get back into this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to take a look here through the chat. They will come back, says Martin. Absolutely agree. Canadian Dude and Oz is here. Penalties and broken sticks. Yeah. I mean, penalties and broken sticks is one thing. I see someone say Fowler next game. Yeah, let's relax. That's not Dobie's fault. This is going to be it's a long game again, and you know what I'm interested to see is how you play differently defensively after this. Because again, like the first one wasn't a defensive miscue, but that second one, a little tiny miscue by Guhle. Like again, it's those little errors that get magnified. And so, you know, I just hope that, you know, with a young team, it doesn't get in their head. Oh my God, I can't make that mistake again. Hope like, no, I'm gonna prove myself right for this. And that's one thing I think Montreal throughout this whole year, as Guhle does stutter a little bit along the boards with the puck there. It's one thing that Marty has allowed players to do over the last few years. You make a mistake, go right back out there and prove that you deserve to be on the ice. And I think that's how Montreal's got to play this next stretch of the game, as Suzuki's in on the forecheck, but it goes back to Guentzel. And it looks like Tampa's got the momentum now, but I'm ready for that to shift.
For sure. And again, it's just going to start with playing that speed. That's what a game is. And just getting some more pucks on net. We're obviously going to need to get that volume up. And that's going to be the main point of emphasis for the Habs in this game.
Yeah, we've been forced to take a lot of point shots this game. As Slaf goes into the Tampa zone on his own, but turns it over again. And the puck is right back out to center. And it's over to Lane Hutson at his own blue line. Tampa's pressuring hard now. You can see they got their legs underneath them. And they're coming fast. Nick Paul sends it down in behind the net as Yanni Gourde, who gets it in the left corner. Slafkovsky tips it, though it goes back to Gourde, and the puck stays with Tampa. I mean, you can see I think some nerves are coming through now. I think Montreal just needs to settle down a little bit. Like, that's gotta suck, right? The home crowd, like, we've seen it a bunch of times when other teams are in Montreal. Montreal scores 2 quick goals. Holy crap, just like crazy. You know, the feeling from the other team, the crowd noise, the fans, everything. And so to face that, you know, that's one of the parts of the playoffs that is a tough thing to deal with if you haven't dealt with it before. So we're going to see how they deal with it here now. But it's Bolduc who goes back up to Jacki over to Struble, does send a point shot, but again, it just doesn't get through. Tampa's doing a great job of clogging the space in front of Vasilevskiy. As you know, we said earlier how that could help Montreal if they can get some tips on shots, but Tampa's blocking the shots, right? We're allowing Dobes to see clear looks. Tampa's getting in the way and blocking everything they can, and so far it's kind of stifled Montreal's offense a little bit.
Yeah, and it's just not about forcing things as that goes on to try and do like some individual plays. For me, for the Habs, it's going to be about just, if we're going to have to maybe simplify, just get pucks in deep and really get on that forecheck to be able to generate that offensive zone time from there, and really let that be our bread and butter and build a platform off of that.
Hope so. 4 minutes, 18 seconds left in the period as we head to commercial. All right, so we've had a bit of time to digest this. I mean, so far, the story of the game, questionable refereeing. And you know what? We're familiar with that. Do you guys remember that run to the Stanley Cup Final 2021? I've seen Habs get punched in the face. I've seen Habs bloodied and beaten up for the refs just to look right at it and say nothing and do nothing. Familiar. Are we the victims? No, I think that'd be too far, because I think every fan base thinks they're the victim of bad refereeing. This game, I will say, haven't loved it. But, again, if that's how it's going to be, it's how it's going to be. You need to rise above that. Stanley Cup winning teams don't sit here and say, well, we would have won, but no, you gotta just win. You gotta just win the game. And that's where Montreal is going to come in for now. We got some arguments in the chat here, but that's all right. Someone said Lane owes us a goal here. You know, it's I would love to see it. I think Lane, you know, still looking, Jesse, for his first playoff goal. And again, it's been the defensemen who have really been involved in this offense, right? The first goal, Alex Carrier, who poked it out in front of Josh Anderson. The second goal that got called back, Mike Matheson sending a point shot. And most of Montreal's offense has been point shots. Slav had one where he stepped out in front of Vasilevskiy, but other than that, like Suzuki and Caufield, I don't think either of them have had a really clear shot on net yet, which is, I think, something that has to change, but definitely something Marty is going to be looking for his team to do.
Yeah, and again, it's, you know, they're looking to establish things off the rush right now, and they're getting a little bit stifled right now. So it's about often, and that's normal in playoff hockey. So this is a young team about figuring it out. I think often that key to success, as we've seen from a Florida Panthers team, often have so much success in the playoffs. It's just about gaining that blue line and kind of just putting pucks in places where you can get them. And that's what I want to see just a little bit more from the Montreal Canadiens. It's not easy coming right now, so we need to simplify. It's just about getting pucks in deep, put in an opportunity where you have a chance to battle for it, to win it, and really that's how we're able to score our first goal. And I think really that's the game plan that the Habs should be sticking to right now.
Absolutely, 100%. I completely agree. Both refs agree. Josh goal was good. No one on Tampa complained. I'm not sure what that one is about. But yeah, anyway, shot counter's off. Slav had a shot in the first, not counted. It is kind of nonsense. Like, I saw that. Slav shot it right at Vasilevskiy. He kicked it away. And then they added the shot, and then they took it away later. As Alex Carrier once again getting another forecheck. Goodness, Tampa Bay absolutely manhandling Phil Deneau, and no call there, of course. I mean, we're not going to see these holding calls as this game goes on. It's going to get more physical, and the refs are going to let a lot more stuff go. They called it soft at the start. I mean, but that charge on Anderson, though, to be fair, the last penalty call in this game was insanely soft. So we're going to have to see if they change it up as the puck goes into the bench with 3 minutes and 41 seconds left. I mean, the pace has slowed down a little bit, and I think, controlling your emotions is a big part of this game. And Tampa, again, they know, like, scary team when they have a lead because, like, as soon as they get the lead, they can kind of shift their game. Now, without Hedman, they can't do it as easily, but they can shift their game into a much different style. It's kind of a prevent style. A team that's already done a good job of stopping Montreal coming through the neutral zone, that stopped Montreal from getting high danger chances in front of Vasilevskiy, is able to just kind of switch their game a bit to close even more off while sacrificing offensive chances. Though I think Tampa Bay is still going to push for some goals. That's something you got to watch out for, Jesse, as the second line's back on the ice. And honestly, other than Demidov, I haven't really noticed him too much. I wonder how Marty is feeling about the different lines this game, because I don't think any of the forward lines have really stood out spectacularly to me, other than that Josh Anderson line.
Which is why we might need to keep an eye to see if we might see Kapanen be reunited back on that second line. I've been a little bit of a proponent of liking him there. I think that he's been so great all season. He provides a lot offensively and defensively. So I'd love, if things aren't cooking there for the second line, to potentially see him reunited back there.
Yeah, absolutely. So taking a quick look at the stats, in terms of Corsi, which is shot share, Evans, Deneau, Anderson controlling 60% of the shots when they're on the ice. No other line. Doc Kapanen and Bolduc is 50%, and then the top line 30%. Our top line has a 5.1% expected goals percentage in this game. So again, like, your best players got to be your best players. So far tonight, Montreal's still in this game, despite their best players really not getting their game going right now. But they're on the ice, and they got a chance to do it. Though Suzuki turns it over, and is back at the blue line. Dobesh didn't see the shot. Suzuki, you can't have those bad passes. He gets hit by Cirelli, but Suzuki again sends a bit of an errant pass around the boards, and it's Ryan McDonough who steps in with the puck. Suzuki makes a nice defensive play to knock it off his stick, takes the puck back, gives it up to Slav, so makes up for it right there. Thank goodness. We know Nick Suzuki is a fantastic player. He's going to make up for his mistakes more often than not, as it's Slav who gets taken out hard into the boards by Ryan McDonough, but he's standing right back up and goes right back after McDonough. They're fighting a little bit in the corner. Slav is not happy about that hit, but it's Tampa who clears it out. It's Arbor Jacki who recovers, and he's trying to push the pace a little bit here. I think Montreal knows you got to, like you've been talking about, Jesse, you got to get back to your game. Play that pace. You can see them in on the forecheck. Oh, nearly hitting Vasilevsky's Alex Newhook, I believe. But yeah, Montreal, they get an icing call, face off in Tampa zone with 2 minutes, 18 seconds left. The speed's picking up, which is, I think definitely goes in Montreal's favor, but Slav looks a little bit worse for wear.
Yeah, for sure. But again, it's just about continuing that for the boys here. They know what they need to do, but again, we're just one shot away here. This game could be going very much worse considering how some really tough calls against us here. So again, we're just one shot away from tying this one back up.
Absolutely. As Mr. Niles comes in with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Mr. Niles. Long time viewer and supporter as well. Win or lose, I hope Marty St. Louis has harsh words about the refs. They need to be put on blast. We'll see. Marty has not been shy to call him out, certainly in the game. But we've also seen him before say, I will not speak about the refs. We remember last year, Jesse. We were having this same conversation. We were singing the same tune. We remember when that game went down last year. So I think Marty's going to do whatever he needs to do to get the boys fired up. And whether that includes getting fined for talking about the refs, if he thinks that's the best course of action to get the boys ready to go, I think Marty is open to do pretty much whatever.
Yeah, it does extend to the regular season as well. But again, despite everything, we need to remember that the Habs were able to place third in the Atlantic Division, despite being so young, despite the adversity, with some tough breathing in some situations, more often than not, right? Subjectively speaking, of what we determine is often what's a penalty and what's not. We don't often see, like, the Habs very often get, like, where the refs go back and then change their mind, where even in this game where we've seen that happen, right? And that's a little bit more of the rarity, which I think we just want to see a little bit less of, so there's some parity here in this game. But Marty, that's going to be his job, right? Is to really get in their ears and let them know that the standard of refereeing that they expect. But that being said, is like, you know, even with that going on, the Montreal Canadiens, I fully expect them to find a way to be able to rally back here.
And you have a great chance here, right? With the last minute and a half of the second period, you get well, 2 minutes here because of a high sticking penalty. Was that the high stick? That didn't hit Texier in the face. Okay, all right. I'm not really sure. If that was the play, I don't think it hit him in the face, but I'd love to see Slav fighting back. Can you guys tell that I get meaner in the playoffs? This is Violet. I think we all do. I think I'm already like getting angry, getting more ready, like just more hyped, more excited. As the Habs power play starts, Ivan Demidov sends it down behind the net. Weird bounce, but it's Tampa again who gets control of it. It looks like they're going to try and clear, but it's Caufield fighting. Caufield and Suzuki, they're fighting for the puck along the boards. It's back up to Hutson. Demi with the one-time shot, blockered away by Andrei Vasilevskiy. I don't think Demi got all of that. Bit of a knuckle puck. Demi gets it back, sends it back up to Lane Hutson. Looking over, shoots it in front, tip. Is it in the net? No, it's loose in front. Demi gets the puck, looks at the net, can't quite get it. Tampa's going to clear. No, they're not. It stays in the Tampa zone. Now they clear it. I mean, Jesse, Montreal again, like we talk about it. We're getting power play chances. We are generating opportunities in front of Vasilevskiy, and that's exactly what we needed at this stage of the game.
And that's why we're hopeful. We're continuing to bring the Habs propaganda here in Game 1. Believing we can do this because, again, we know we have a shooter's chance. We got one of the best snipers in the NHL in Cole Caufield here. He still hasn't made, you know, he's still going to make his presence felt just that much more in the game. But, yeah, we're obviously, we know we're just one shot away from getting right back into this one.
Juraj Slafkovsky scores the power play goal to tie the game back up at 2. Tirez le but, baby, let's go. Slav getting on the board. The Habs power play peppering Andrei Vasilevskiy with shots. Some scrambles in front of the net. A few great saves. Get the crowd on their feet. But it's Mr. Slafzilla himself, Jesse, who gets the one-timer goal with 23 seconds left in the second period to tie this game right back up. Who else? You called for him to score the first goal of the game. There it is. We drew the power play, and Montreal, after a few great chances, gets the Tampa fans on their feet for some saves and right back down in your seats as it's us who are celebrating. What an incredible shift in momentum.
And it starts off with really creating some chaos in that offensive zone, getting them scrambling, us moving around and getting back to playing that quick pace. We know that our power play can be so good when we just have guys switching, moving around, creating space, filling those gaps on the ice. We love to see Juraj Slafkovsky with the heavy wrist and when it really matters. Again, the fact that we're putting some damage on Vasilevskiy with such little shot totals. Again, like, if we can just get our totals up here, like, there's a world where we can expose Vasilevskiy in this tournament, because I'm seeing some chinks in the armor right now when it comes to him.
Oh yeah, man. Like, he's trying his best, but it's not really working. It's not enough. It's not enough. Oh my goodness. I mean, what an end to the period too. I mean, just like Tampa after their first goal, they tried to push right back. Montreal after their goal, you saw that pass to Anderson. Anderson was at center, sent the puck all the way down the ice, and he nearly had a chance on Vasilevskiy. But my goodness, let's get all the channel members in the chat right now. I know we got a lot of channel members. I want to see the chat completely filled with the Slafzilla emoji. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be disappointed if all our channel members are not sending those. I want to see more channel members. I want everyone to be able to have all these emojis for this playoff run. We got Kirby, we got Slafzilla, we got Suzuki, Demi, Hudson, Line, Hughes, and Dobie. I'm sending them all. Thank you so much. As Jesse, Doug, re-ups the Rocket Richard membership. We're approaching 2 years, 22 months for Doug. Oh my goodness. I mean, the positive vibes, the shift in this game came so fast. Thank you so much, Doug, for being around. You are a real one.
Absolutely, Doug. We appreciate you having so much. And thank you to everybody in this community as well. If you guys are having fun, if you're in this watch along here today and you say you're having fun and you want to watch this here again, you want to do this with us, like and subscribe to the channel because you know that we love being here with you as well. You know that the Habs have so much more exciting hockey ahead of them, and we just love to be there with you. Josh, just breaking down this goal that just happened, again, like so important. Right before the period ends, again, coming back to momentum, key word, like being able to score going into the period, an all-important third period. We know the Habs are very good in that third period, but we don't want to leave all the work to be done then. Juraj Slafkovsky being able to chip away and being able to tie this game is so important. And just the fact of our top lines asserting themselves, right? Which is so important. Like when we know we're going against the Tampa Bay Lightning, we need our top players to be our best players on the ice. And I'm just so impressed that Slafzilla, the youngest player on that top line, is the first one to really assert himself in this game. And you have to feel like he's going to be getting Cole and Nick Suzuki. They're going to be joining the fray as a result.
Oh, it's going to be this again. It's such a good point. This is the start, right? You just needed that. You needed to show that crack, and there it is. And we get a new channel member as well, Jake Carroll. Jake, thank you so much for supporting us so much today. Welcome to the Slipselly tier channel membership, and I'm already seeing the Slapzilla emojis. We've got that fight, says Jason Patrick, David Darcy. I see Slovakian flags. If you are from Slovakia, ahoy! I want to see you all chatting in the chat right now.
Love Slovakia.
Oh yeah, I love Slovakia. Slovakia has been so good to us, and I mean, yeah, we honestly like love the country of Slovakia. Everything that they've done for this channel, really. Like Slovakia has been such a huge proponent of supporting us, whether it's the Olympics. Jess, you remember the World Championships. I mean, this was that's really what kind of helped kick this channel to the next level. So I'm so thankful for that, and I'm so thankful for Juraj Slafkovsky. Let me just be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, he continues a strong body of work against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, again, 8 points in 5 games so far this season. And you want your top guys to be able to go off when it really matters. And again, with Tampa Bay, just the fact that we're having somebody again with the size, we said like going into the series, this is why we're going to be happy that we drafted Juraj Slafkovsky. And even though all the Richards didn't come at first, we needed to wait. It's really when you get in the playoffs and you're facing a grizzled team where you're having a power forward like Juraj Slafkovsky that can get in front of the net. And like, there was a nice shot and it was a nice no-look pass from Demi. We need to give him a little bit of love. But there was like a little bit of a scramble play like this is happening ahead of time, and having a bigger guy that just can create a little bit of chaos in front of your net, right? That's what a little bit of a bigger guy does, and get, you know, a goalie a little bit off of his moorings to be able to create an opportunity here. It's just so huge. And we see that Slav is just truly being like an agent of chaos in certain ways. Like that's going to be his bread and butter. Look for him a lot more to just assert himself on the forecheck, and then just creating, obviously, like just winning puck battles, and really through his physicality, you know, creating opportunities for Nick Suzuki and Cole Caufield as a result. We know that's the bread and butter. We know what he needs to do. He needs to play that physical game, and it's really how much can Juraj Slafkovsky assert himself physically in this third period, because we know what he needs to do to be successful, and he really needs to lock into that here in the third and continue to do that.
And I know he will, right? And we get another big super chat that simply says Slafzilla from Luke. So Luke, for you, we're sending this for the super chat, $25. Thank you so much, Luke. Appreciate it so much. But that's it. I mean, Slav, what he's able to already in this game, like he's been able to show physically, he can get to his spots when he wants to. The thing is, Tampa is playing him very closely. They know what he wants to do. They're poking the puck off his stick. They're not allowing him to generate sustained offensive zone time. It's something that Slav's going to have to learn. Again, you only learn with reps. No one can expect him to just do it right away without ever, you know, knowing how. But he gets a goal, right? And he's out there. He's got the puck on his stick, and he's going through defenders like they're pylons. It's just when he finally gets into the zone, they get a bit physical. Maybe he can turn the puck over. But my goodness, like, I mean, there's a world, right, where we look at this series once the series is over and say that Slav was our best player. You know, there's a lot of guys that could take a mantra and roll with it. I mean, there's going to be a whole lot more games, a whole lot more goals. But I just think that, again, with the scoring ability that he's shown, with the way he's been able to be so physical, I think Luke is right with that incredible donation. Again, thank you. Just simply saying Slavzilla, I feel like it's almost not enough. Like, this guy is showing why we picked him first overall and how much of an impact he can have in the playoffs. That's what we got him for, right?
And that's when it really matters, because obviously the regular season is all good and well, but if you're not making noise in the playoffs and you don't have the type of players to be able to do that, then it's truly all for naught. So again, it's so important that, again, he's able to come into his own when the play's getting a little bit tighter. And as such a young guy, but we need to remember that, like, he played so well. Like, he built off of his, normally he was just coming into his own in the second half. He had a stronger first half than he typically did. It was just all good, but really it was at the Olympics really where, like, we saw him actually beforehand that he was put on the second line, and he was really that go-to guy. He was a test that was put onto him, and he was absolutely ready. He then went to the Olympics and then completely showed out. But the question would be, coming back from that and then going back on that first line, could he be the guy when he's playing like with other good players and he's not like just kind of that main focal point? And absolutely, he's been able to do that. And it's just amazing to see the evolution of Slav to the point where he's really the guy who's getting everybody into the game here tonight and dragging them into the war when it really matters, getting a huge goal for this team. But we know Slav has just been good on the power play so far this year. And again, we got a lot of playmakers, somebody that can be a little bit more of that shooting threat, which we've wanted to see from a long time for Juraj Slafkovsky. Just has to feel good for us Habs fans, and seeing it come to fruition in such a big game like this. Our first overall pick truly showing out.
Isn't it evolution from going from that meme of like that we made of Matheson just not looking at Slap on that right side for the one-timer to now in reality in game one of the playoffs with 30 seconds left in a game where you're down 2-1, it's now the young guy Ivan Demidov with a no-look cross-ice pass exactly to the spot that we've been begging for Slav to take one-timers from for 3 years now. It's poetic, right? It's unbelievable to see the evolution of this team. I still love you, Mike Matheson, but my goodness, that was hard to watch. Anyway, Luke again, and not just with the $25 donation, but Luke re-upping the Rocket Richard. Jesse, 18 months now for Luke, a year and a half. We have so many re-upped memberships today for such long times. Luke, thank you so much. He said, here's to 18 more. I mean, Jesse, this is exactly what makes the channel special, right? All these wonderful people coming into the chat who have been familiar faces since you know we first started. And let us know in the chat, when did you first find this channel? Is this your first stream? Have you been around since the start? And I know a lot of you how long you've been around, so you can feel free to share it with the fans as well. But this is what makes it a community, right? We're all so hyped for the Habs together, and it's what makes it a special place to share in moments just like this.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun, for sure. And it's truly here in like the playoffs where we get like a moment just to kind of look back and celebrate of like all the amazing things that this team has done, and really our fans being there for every step of the way, because of course we shouldn't be taking for granted this is a very young team. We're ahead of schedule, and we're absolutely going to celebrate that we're 2-2 against Tampa Bay in game one on the road here in the Stanley Cup playoffs, right? Like, knowing that this team can very much make some noise, and just like, I'm excited. Like, I'm actually feeling good. Like, despite the refereeing and the game being tied here again, it's 0-0 going into that third period. But like, let's face it, like, our shot volume hasn't been great. The refs are against us pretty hard. Like, and again, we don't want to keep harping on that. We only talk about it when it's like so apparent that you can't talk about it. I think that was just like a good hockey play by Anderson, and I think Martin St. Louis has the right to be upset by that. Despite all of this, Josh, like, such little against Vasilevskiy, we're still in a tied game going into the third period. Like, again, we have a very solid chance to come away with a solid victory here on the road. What do you think that the Habs need to do in this third period? Speak it into existence, what the Habs need to do in this third period to be successful here.
Get out and transition a bit more. Like, right at the start of this game, Montreal, we had a few chances. It was back and forth, and we're like, okay, this game. But then Tampa started locking in a bit more, and it was hard. Like, we had to dump the puck. And yeah, we, again, created some opportunities from that. And that's kind of what you got to do sometimes in playoff hockey. But like you've been saying, like we all know, Montreal's game is the speed game. So forcing some turnovers in our own defensive zone to just try and get out quick in transition, like that's where we're going to be at our best. And it's where you can just get shots on net, right? Yeah, I could just say get more pucks on the net. But you can get more pucks on the net if you get more odd man rushes. And so again, easier said than done against a team like Tampa who doesn't make as many mistakes. But you can try. You can try, right? I think if Montreal is going to win this game, we're going to notice that they're going to have some pep in their step. They're going to come out there and play a lot quicker in this third period. But honestly, that and continue with the special teams. Power play, PK, doesn't matter. Getting a power play goal there is huge. Absolutely huge. And also killing off those first 3 back-to-back-to-back Tampa penalties. Like, looking back now, how big that was in the momentum of this game, like, I think just continuing on that, and we're going to be in a decent spot.
For sure. But for me, really the key to victory for Habs in this third period, all those points is so true, is really, again, is we've been the better team 5v5. So it lends us to believe we just need to not give the refs any opportunity to call anything on us whatsoever. That means being extremely responsible with our stick. We know we've been a little bit hard done by in those ways, but at the same time, like, just knowing, okay, if the refs are maybe looking to call something on us and they're a little bit trigger happy there, we need to just make sure we're giving them no reason, because for me, the Habs are the better team. It's only when we start taking, there's too many calls against us. I don't even want to say we're taking too many penalties.
Yeah.
There was just too many calls against us where really the dynamic of the game, and again, there was just one overturned, and Tampa's able just to get on the board really quickly from there. So I think if Montreal, if they take 2 penalties here in the third period, there's no way we're winning this game. If we're able, I think one penalty, you're able to kind of get away from that. I think that's kind of normal throughout the course of a game. But I think it's just, if we can keep it 5v5, we can just play some normal hockey. That's what's going to allow our speed to come through. And that's how the Montreal Canadiens are going to win this third period.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think everyone here is on the same page. It's going to be unreal. It's going to be so fun to watch this third period. My voice is already going. I'm going to recover from this. I screamed when these 3 goals happened, really. I remember that, says Jason. Matheson would rather give it away instead of passing to Slav. Martin saying, I've been around since Slav was drafted. So did Nuki 08. Few people since Slav was drafted. But I mean, we didn't create the channel until after Slav was drafted. So we didn't create the channel until the fall of that year. So for those of you who've been around, maybe you remember it, but we didn't have any videos until that season, right? So anyway, very interesting. Jason saying sub when it was 3.3K. Huge Patrick Waugh fan. That's right. And a numbers nerd. Well, thank you, Jason, for being around for so long. Bring back the intro song. That's a throwback, says Carter Drake. Don't know if that one's coming back, but, hey, it is what it is. Jason with the $5 super chat as well, Jesse. Thank you so much, Jason. Unbelievable. Regardless of the result, thanks for the watch along, Josh and Jesse. With that being said, the Habs are going to effing win. I agree. Is that Ivan Demidov speaking in the chat? Another F-bomb coming out from there. I love it. Thank you so much, Jason. I mean, it's so fun. I mean, my voice, I don't do this very often. I don't know about you, Jesse, but I'm going to need more water than I have here. But this has been such an incredible game, too. Like, to watch this game, like, it's just special. Like, close game, wonderful fans, a lot of people sharing in this. It's unbelievable.
For sure. We need to contain ourselves because we're so excited. So we're not dropping some expletives like Demidov is, but we know he's just obviously excited like this team is. And I think it's very good to bring up the point of Demidov. Like, how can he factor into this game? Because the top line's been a little bit quiet, but we know Demidov, his bread and butter is being a playmaker. And there's no way that Juraj Slafkovsky scoring that goal without the no-look. In fact, he's very close to getting the glove on it. Obviously, with the no-look pass. So obviously just being able to hold his attention that much longer to give Slav the opportunity, the opening to score there is huge. So how can Demi really factor into this game? We've seen him sometimes come up clutch in some big games. Obviously his playoff experience is fairly limited, but we have seen some good flashes of brilliance all the same. What level of game can he take himself up to, right? Because obviously with Demidov, we're seeing some great stuff, but we know like there's levels, right? It's just like, and we're going to see different levels, but it's just like, at what point in time are we going to see that unlocked? And I'm a really big believer here, Josh, that in the playoffs, we can see a better version of Ivan Demidov than we've ever seen before. And that's for a couple of reasons. It's like the playoffs. I believe he's a gamer. He's going to elevate his game when it truly matters. And like key players and clutch players, the greats really always do that. But I think there's also with Demidov, there's just also like the experience and just like the reps factor. Just the more that Ivan Demidov plays games at the NHL level, the more that he's able to acquire experience, the more that really his amazing talent truly shines through. And I think that we're going to see in the playoffs that there's another level for him to hit. I think we're going to start seeing glimpses of that very shortly here, possibly even here tonight, dare I say.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we've already seen him pull some absolutely filthy dangles off and a no-look pass for an assist. Like, I still feel like, I know you mentioned earlier we had to give him credit for it, but like, it was nuts. Like who does that? You're like, what? Your first game of the 2026 playoffs. Your first, not your first playoff game with the Habs, of course, because he was around last year, but like, just nuts that he did it. I mean, I don't know. It's absolutely incredible. As we're getting a look here now at Sportsnet of the upcoming slate of games, this is so far the playoffs are looking awesome. I mean, this game included, right? A lot of close games, and even if it's not a close game, it's a shocking blowout like the Minnesota one. So I'm curious to see actually about the Edmonton and Anaheim, right? I mean, there's a few Canadian teams in the playoffs right now, but I think no one is favored more than Montreal, even though the models, Jesse, continue to have us at like a 1% chance to win the cup, simply because you have to go through Tampa, and then you have to go through, I don't know, a very tough Atlantic division to get where we were. Then you got to face the winner of Buffalo versus Boston. It's just Atlantic all the way down. But right now, I mean, the way this team is playing, again, you want more shots. That's something Montreal's going to have to do. It's been a thing we've been saying for years at this point. But they're learning. They're learning how to play. It's been hard. Like, also, like, it's hard to get momentum when you're on the penalty kill so much. Or it's 4v4. Like, you're not just playing the 5-on-5 game. Like, I'm gonna be honest, looking at the 5-on-5 game, like, Montreal looks really good. And I think the more that we can stay at even strength, the better this team's gonna look.
For sure. And it's about getting those good quality opportunities. That's great. And that is Montreal's play style. Like, we don't need to be too alarmed by the shot volumes. This is the way that they play. And it's often a lot of teams that are successful play to even like a puck possession style of the game where you don't want to just be letting it rip all the time and losing possession. Even going back to years of like the Detroit Red Wings, right? Like, there's a lot to be said about like playing a possession style of hockey and that working very well. But at the same time, if we could just blend in a little bit more of that shot volume, knowing that it's not always going to be pretty in the playoffs, right? Like, there's going to be those tip shots, a little bit of those coming in. But that being said, it's like, it really lends to my next point of like, who's going to be this hero in this third period for the Montreal Canadiens in a very tight game? We have a very amazing opportunity right in front of us for the Montreal Canadiens to get this win and to lead a very important first round here. So who is going to do it for the Montreal Canadiens? Now, with Juraj Slafkovsky obviously scoring that goal here, that I had a feeling like he'd get one here in this game. My mind can't help but shift to some of the big guns. Caufield, Newhook's shown like glimpses of some really strong play here in this game as well. I can't help but feel like Caufield could be that player that comes out to help us separate that top line. Like, who are you feeling, Josh, could potentially be some difference makers just in general, besides even scoring goals, because that's sometimes hard to really project, but like, who do you see being just some solid contributors? Who should we be looking out for the Montreal Canadiens in this third period?
I think you're bang on with a lot of those names. I think that fourth line with Anderson, Evans, and Danault too. But one name I'm going to throw out there, kind of an off the wall pick, probably not the number one guy that we should be looking, because I agree, Caufield, Suzuki, whoever. But Zach Bolduc, I've liked what I've seen from him tonight. And I think I don't know, I got this sneaking suspicion that even if it's not tonight, and if it's the next game, he's going to get a puck that bounces his way and he's going to bury it. Like, I see this, like, he just creates so much chaos so far today. And I got to say, I'm thrilled, right? Because there have been a lot of question marks around him, especially in the last part of this year. Zach Bolduc, he hasn't been that amazing, whatever. I don't know. I got a feeling, man, but I'd love to see a lot of people in chat. Who are you looking out for right now in this third period? Who do you want to focus on that you think will change this game? The X factor. Maybe some people will say Jack-Eye for that. I want to take a look. I want to take a look in the chat. Hero for the third. Wouldn't surprise me if it's Slav again, says Jason Patrick. I absolutely love that. Jason also saying, I hate the Bruins guts. Yeah, I think we all do. I feel Newhook is going to do something big in the third, says David Darcy. Hemscale? Edmonton, I am not sure how to pronounce that. I'm going to try it. Who scores the third one? Fourth is going to be an empty netter by Caufield. Can you imagine? That would be absolutely hilarious. Though I don't think Marty would have him out there in that situation. Slafkovsky woke up after McDonough. I agree. LFG, a lot of people are getting ready for this third period. Cole in the third from Slav, says Banks. Cole needs to get loose. So we're seeing a lot of Cole, a lot of Slav, and a Newhook. And I think those are very fair guys, because I think, Alex Newhook, like you said, he's brought a whole lot to this game tonight. And, I'm a little bit biased. I walk around his hometown every single day, but I'm ready. I'm ready for this third period, Jesse. Are you ready to get right back into this? This is the biggest period of hockey all season. I know we've been making those jokes for ages, but it's definitely true.
Absolutely. And here we are, right? And obviously the boys, Martin St. Louis, he's talked to them in this period. They're going to come up. And they're going to be really jacked up for this period here.
100%. I was debating about third period, period 3. Yeah, period 3. They're going to be jacked up. And we're seeing some people in the crowd. I feel like I should know who that guy is, but I don't. So that's all right. Third period has started. LOL Slavzilla. That's right. Slavzilla. Anyway, we see Darren Radish on the bench looking really confused. Not sure why, but that's okay. We're going to get this puck dropped, and we're going to get ready. Anderson playing like he did for Columbus. I don't know what got into Anderson, Jesse, but he's got some youth in him right now. Like, every time we come to playoffs, we're like, you know what? As long as we get to playoffs, this dude's going to be worth his contract. And so far, worth more than that. I mean, just the absolute physicality, the specimen that he is on the ice. As Luke once again chimes in saying it's going to be Cole. Dastu is out. I really don't like him, says David. But Dave from Vancouver, lifelong Montreal fan, surrounded by Canuck fans that hate the Habs, and I love it. Well, we feed off that, don't we, Jesse, as we get the third period finally underway.
Absolutely. You know, we're bringing the Habs propaganda and very welcome here. So nice to just be here with other Habs fans. And obviously, wherever you're tuning in from far and wide, let us know wherever you're coming. Whether that's in Canada, that's from abroad, we love having you here with us.
Absolutely. And I just realized I was a minute and a half behind the broadcast. I must have accidentally paused it at some point. But we're here. We're here. So, we're here with 18 minutes left now. Shots are 17-9. Yeah, totally. Time traveling. That's okay. This is JJ Moser who sends it up the left side. Tampa gets stifled at the line by this Habs second line of Demidov with Newhook and Texier. Haven't really noticed Texier a whole lot this game, but that's all right. We were hoping to see him a little bit more. Lane Hutson gets taken down by Gage Gonsalves, just ridden into the ground. I mean, yeah, it's probably not a penalty, but that's it. And look, the puck gets towards Dobesh, but now it's Alex Texier who picks it up, sends it to Demidov. Oh, little dangle move. Kind of gets his leg taken out, but that's not a call either. Here's Texier, Jesse, with the puck on his stick. Like I said, takes a shot too. So already we're seeing the second line start to create some opportunities for Montreal.
And that's very big for them, right? Because obviously as a second line, they are counted on to provide that offense. And with Texier, again, I feel like it comes down to that confidence. You just get it going. That's what it's all about.
He almost did. You see that? The backhand dangle in front of the net. Vasilevskiy has to make the save on Texier, but you say his name, and he appears, Alex Texier, with a fantastic start to this period. And I don't think you could draw that up better for this line. Like you said, Jesse, we need that kind of momentum.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? He has that talent for sure. It's just about getting it going. And once that team just really pops that cherry, they're going to get started going from there.
Oh, yeah. We just need, we've had a couple dangles in front, which have just not really gone our way, as Kirby's getting a little bit worked over, lost the puck on the boards. Kirby is still not being that big physical specimen that we know he can be. That's all right. We still got time. Lane Hutson chopping at the puck. Nice little steal by Lane Hutson, honestly. He has 3 Tampa Bay players around him, and he just sends it away as it's Kirby Dach who spots Texier up the left wing again. Texier stops. He skates in. He's going to go behind the net with Chernak hounding him, riding him into the boards. Texier keeps possession and sends it back to the blue line for Jaden Struble, who sends it over to Arbor Jack. I bet he's going to let it rip. He certainly does. It gets blocked and goes into the corner. Kirby Dach tries to stuff it into the side of the net, but it's covered by Vasilevskiy. Habs got some momentum to start this third period. I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far.
Very important to start off this period strong here. And again, we know what they need to do. And it's just a question of continue to play that speed, make some smart decisions with the puck, but also just play that safe defensive game. And again, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Hutson for the large part. There's been a little bit of a gap there in his own end, but it's more for him. The question is, can he make the right decisions of when to jump into the play, when to not? I'm liking that he's showing a little bit more of a mature game here in this postseason.
I agree, man. What a pass from Demidov right there to Texier. And you watch the replay. Vasilevskiy just got the little bit of his glove on it just to stop it. Oh my goodness. That was like, it's a game of inches, isn't it? I mean, that was 1 inch away from being a 3-2 go-ahead goal off a beautiful pass from Demidov to Texier in front. Already creating some chances, but now it's the Josh Anderson line. Oh, very interesting. Is that it's Danault out there with Bolduc and Kapanen because Kirby Dach just spent an extended shift on the ice. This is a quick shot from Kapanen. Had to be kicked aside by Vasilevskiy. Another point shot gets through. It's loose in front. Kapanen sends it back out in front, but he can't get it going as Tampa is out and running and the other way. Oh my goodness, but it's Kucherov who gets ridden into the boards by Arbor Jackeye. The whistle is blown. Jesse, Jackeye's going after everyone he can get his hands on tonight. I mean, I don't know. You can't take him out of the lineup after a game like this.
No, he needs to be there. He's a stalwart of this lineup. Even with Noah Dobson back, I truly believe that Arbor Jackeye is somebody that you need to keep in your lineup for in the playoff.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Man, that Kapanen shot nearly went in. The little tip from Danault, I think. My goodness, it was just, speed. Quick passes, quick shots, quick plays. And that's how you get going. Montreal adding some shots to their total now up to 11 shots. I want to see us get to at least 20. But again, the number is less important than the result. Montreal likes to get those high quality chances. And these scorekeepers here in Tampa are really not giving us a lot of shots that I think we should get. Like, I don't really know what's going on with that, but hey, it is what it is. As the top line is back out there, right? The top line is the line that we need to see get going. Slav, of course, just got that goal in the second period at the end of it on the power play, but 5v5, this line has just not really clicked so far this game. The advanced stats definitely don't paint a nice picture as Hutson struggles to keep it in at the blue line. He's going to skate back to his own end, looking for Caden Gooley on the left side. He's going to try and spring a rush. It's tipped in. Juraj Slafkovsky gets tied up with Cirelli. Is it called on Cirelli or is it called on Slafkovsky? It's Cirelli. Anthony Cirelli is going to the box.
break.
I mean, I like the play from Slav. Jesse, once again, Slav using his body, sticking his arm in, and Cirelli kind of tug. Oh, I like that. I like that from Slav, getting a little cheeky, sticking his arm in on Cirelli. Cirelli wrapping the arm up, and then I don't know if Slav went down easy or not. I don't think it matters. I mean, I gotta think Tampa fans are very upset at that call, but after some of the calls that they've got going their way this game, I say suck it up.
For sure. And a little bit of gamemanship, a little bit of a vet move from Juraj Slafkovsky, again, showing that the experience is starting to come in a little bit. But that's just what happens when you start playing your game speed and you're getting in on the forecheck. Is this those type of good things happen, right? Where obviously you can't be taken off a player that's coming in hard to forecheck in your zone like that. So putting the referees in a position where they have to make a call. And again, Juraj Slafkovsky just continues to be really an impact and a difference maker in this game.
100% as the Habs look to that Demi one-timer. He takes a whole lot of them, doesn't he? But a minute and a half left on this power play. The whistle goes. The faceoff's going to come back to the Tampa zone, I believe, because it went off the Tampa bench on a clear. But already, like, the start of this power play, Tampa's playing it a little differently. We got Slav here in the bumper spot. Suzuki tried to connect with him. Man, Demi just sends that one-timer right into McDonough, who just desperately tries to chop that puck away. Right now, Montreal, all the momentum, Jesse. 5 shots on the power play in this game. Only 11 shots total. So Montreal's really gotten it towards the net in their power play opportunities. And again, clearly 5v5, you're struggling to get the puck to the net. You got to just start hammering Vasilevskiy here to try and just shake him up a little bit. As Suzuki wins another faceoff. And it's Lane Hutson. Montreal's gotten a lot of clean wins on the power play. A little pass in front to Caufield. Second chance, third chance. It's covered up by Vasilevskiy. That's what I'm saying, Jesse. It's just hammering away, and eventually something's got to squeak through.
And you have to feel like that was the talk in the intermission, was really just start hammering away on net a little bit more. And again, kudos to the Montreal Canadiens for actually listening to Martin St. Louis here and looking to get a little bit more volume in this third period. Of course, it does help with some calls coming our way, but that generally tends to happen when you're playing the game the right way. The calls will come, and really the goals as a result.
100%. And the reps or the scorekeepers right now, you watch the replay very clearly. Caufield shot, a rebound, Slav shot, it got covered. Yet the scorekeepers gave us just one shot. There's a conspiracy here.
Yeah.
I'm convinced there's a conspiracy as Hudson's taken down behind his own net and there's no call against Tampa. Anyway, Hutson turns it over as well as Tampa's going to burn off a lot of time here on the power play. Montreal's probably going to go off for a change, get that second power play unit out here. But Lane Hutson in the first, he did double shift there. He's been double shifting the power play as Tampa breaks in, but it's Nick Suzuki with the great back check to stop it. Montreal's going to go for a change, I believe. Are they? They're not. Montreal is sticking with the first power play unit, and it's Nick Suzuki.
Love it.
They're going to play that. They need a goal, and it's Cole Caufield coming in. Nearly turns it over, but it's back to Lane Hutson at the line. Over to Ivan Demidov. Demidov looking down low, down to Juraj Slafkovsky, who sends it back to Demidov. Back to the point at the top with Hutson. Looking down to Suzuki, fakes the one-timer, down to the goal line for Caufield. We know he can score from there to Slav in front, and he scores! Juraj Slafkovsky with his second of the game. Montreal takes the lead 3-2. Oh my goodness, Slavzilla. I love you so much. I cannot believe it, Jesse. Gets the tying goal, draws the penalty with the veteran move, and scores the go-ahead goal with 14 minutes left in the third period. What a massive game from Juraj Slafkovsky.
And shout out to Jason Patrick again for just feeling like Juraj Slafkovsky would be able to go to that well once again. Just so incredible what we see again. Being the star, being the difference maker in this series. And he wrote in his blog going into this game on NHL.com before this, love seeing him being a shooting threat on the power play, that he wants to be a difference maker, that he knows what he needs to do. And I just love this attitude from Slav, where before he was deferring and passing a whole lot, but now we were saying like we were starting the Slav shoot more campaign, but he's fully got the message. And thanks to all of our great viewers for getting the message out loud and clear, because obviously Slav, when he's getting the puck in the slot, he's not hesitating and letting it rip from there.
This is Olympic Slav times 10. I mean, this is ridiculous. The Slav Shoot More Club, yeah, you're right. I mean, he needed to, but he knows it now. I see the Slavzilla's in the chat. A hand pass. I don't know about that one. Corey Berry and James are both very confused. Whatever, it's okay. Slav in the bumper. That's right. Like, Slav is doing everything, Jesse. He has a one-time goal from the hash marks and a one-time goal from the bumper. That shot is impossible to stop. He's practiced it so much. He led the team in power play goals. He was up there with the top in the league. Like, not at the top, but right up there in power play goals in the NHL. It's because that shot is absolutely lethal. It's a heavy shot. He just needed to get it on target and elevate it from his rookie season to now, and that's exactly what he's doing. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe that. Again, Jesse, he levels his game up when it matters most. Already 2 goals in the first game for Montreal. Like, I am, you know, and not to mention also, it was like Suzuki and Caufield who made this fantastic play down to Caufield, Caufield with the passing play to set up Slafkovsky. Like, you know, if he's not going to get his goals, the 50-goal score, might as well give it to the 30-goal scorer sitting right there in the bumper, who is your top power play guy.
It's really a tic-tac-toe play from the top line from the Montreal Canadiens, again showing the chemistry that they have, which is the difference maker so far in what's been a really tight game. And again, specialty teams, as we mentioned, being that key factor. We know the Montreal Canadiens, such an amazing power play, like getting dang near 30% on the road. Like, this is how good the power play is for the Montreal Canadiens, and that's really been the difference maker for them. It's like, it's been a tight game, obviously getting just a little bit more space to allow these guys to cook, and they're not wasting a prime opportunity. I'm just so incredibly proud of this team, of what they're doing. Now it's all about really locking in and playing some strong play, because we're seeing momentum is already starting to go to the Habs. They're getting some jump in their step, and from there it's really translate that into the forecheck, making some strong hits there, but also just, you know, making sure that we're gapping it up properly and playing some strong defensive game.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to get back to your game. Like, you got the 1-goal lead now. You cannot afford to play not to lose. And Montreal's done a great job this whole year of not doing that. They've played to just keep pushing the pace, right? But you can't take unnecessary risks either. Now, like I said, you can't do this, can't do that, can't do that. The players, just play your game. Play your game. It's gotten you to this point. 2 power play goals. The refs have been against you this entire game. I like, whatever. I think so. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The refs have been against you this entire game, yet you are the team with 2 power play goals, and the other team only has 1. That is what you need to do, right? And again, soft calls all around. I think pretty much every penalty in this game was soft. Minus the high stick, right, on carry from Kucherov. Like, that was obviously a penalty. Like, you can't. And like Gooley's one. Anyway, depends. But like, there's been a whole lot of question marks. But right now, like, just play your game. Get back to the 5v5 play that you know best. And honestly, Jesse, like, one name that we got to talk about, Jakub Dobeš. This is his moment right now. Tampa's going to come fast and furious. They are going to try to just hammer him with pucks. They're going to pressure him as much as they can, see if they can make him crack. He's a young rookie goaltender, even if he played in the playoffs last year, yes. And they're going to try and just pressure him, make him break. But if he can stand tall, this game is really winnable just from him being in net alone.
For sure. And again, this is where the mental side of the game is going to come in really big. And this is really where Jakub Dobeš really thrives, right? Like, he's got a little bit of that dog in his game, right? Where he really is protective of his net when it really matters. He's been coming out big. He's been confident coming out around 10, dang near 12 feet out of his net when it really matters. So again, he's been so good here tonight when it really matters. Fair to say that he's been out-dueling Vasilevskiy if we're looking at the shot totals here in this game. So it's about that, you know, Dobie, again, being square with the shooter, standing up tall. If he continues to do that, blended with his size and his athleticism, he's for sure going to put the Habs in a very good spot to win here tonight.
Yep, you just clear the path, let him make the saves. As we get an icing call, I thought it was close. Jack-Eye dumped it in. He couldn't quite gain the red line. I don't know. you usually get given that more often than not. I'm not super happy with that call. I don't think Jack Eye was either, as he was jawing with Darren Radish of all people, not even the ref. So maybe Jack Eye knew. But anyway, it's going to have to be another defensive zone face-off. But we know the Habs stats when they get at least 900 goaltending. And actually, right now, it's not a 900 goaltending performance from Dobesh. Tampa would need at least 2 more shots to make that happen. But Montreal does get the puck here, as Bolduc, who chips it down into the Tampa zone, and they called icing again. Bolduc was right there next to the red line again, and Kirby Dach looked like he was the first person to touch the puck again, but it's another defensive zone faceoff. There's a whole lot of confusion, but I think they're just laughing about it. I think you take a moment, maybe you take a breather here now. You're not tired anymore after that icing, and you just see what you can do.
Yeah, for sure. And again, we're battling through it here. It's all about this game management at this point in time. They're trying to wrestle back the momentum at this point in time, and it's not about, again, no matter what factors here, the Habs, there's certain things that they're going to control, right? Important to get, some good face-off wins here and just start using our legs, and that's what the boys need to do.
100%, but they get a penalty as there's a slashing call, and it looks like it's 2-minute minor on Zach Bolduc for slashing. Holy crap, can the refs just let these teams play?
Yeah, that was a soft one. You see that a lot in the offensive zone, for sure.
Just let them play.
Yeah.
You've got to be kidding me. He broke the stick, but he tapped him. You have got to be kidding me, bro. What was that? He just takes it, taps it.
No.
The stick snapped in his hand.
One-hander. The one-hander.
Are you kidding
that
me,
is
bro?
brutes. That is brutes.
I know if the stick breaks, it's an automatic call. So I can't really blame the refs if they look over, they see someone chop, and they see the stick break, right? Like, if you're a ref in the quick situation, you see that, sure. But with the advantage of replay that we have, you can't be serious. Like, how is that a penalty ever? Tampa had a great opportunity there. Jakub Dobesh with the big save. Brayden Point not getting allowed to get near Jakub Dobesh, as he shouldn't be. The Habs, Alex Carey, doing a great job keeping him away. But again, just PK again. It's now a 900 save percentage for Dobesh. It's now 20 shots by Tampa, and I imagine they'll get a couple more as a great blocked clear from Anthony Cirelli, but it's Montreal breaking out, and it's Jake Evans on the PK, looking for Newhook, and he nearly connects. Oh my goodness, but Evans with the very heads-up play, Jesse, to take the puck, send it back into his own zone, and kill a good 25 seconds off of this power play.
And no matter what is really obstacle faces the Montreal Canadiens, they're just finding a way to really get over it, right? And really make some lemons, make some lemonade out of some lemons here. So I'm just loving the resiliency that we're seeing from this team, and also just the game management right now.
Oh, 100%. It's been fantastic as there's a scramble. Dobesh is sitting pretty far out of his net. It's a great keep there by Darren Radish, who jumps up to grab the puck as it was looking to be cleared. Guentzel down to Kucherov, down on the goal line, looking for that seam pass, gets tied up in front, but it's Josh Anderson once again intercepting the pass, winning the puck battle on the boards, and clearing it. Jesse, Josh Anderson has been phenomenal in this game on the offensive end and defensive end as he is hounding Kucherov, though it's in front, down over to Guentzel on the goal line, who sends it back up top to Darren Radish, who looks over. My goodness, Tampa with this power play. Jake Guentzel gets a wide open look at the net, and Dobesh kicks it out. Fantastic save as it's Hagel back over to Darren Radish, who's looking down. It's Nikita Kucherov here just above the hash marks, top of the circle, looking down for Guentzel for sure. There's Guentzel, the pass in front, and scores. Brandon Hagel on the power play after another brutally soft call, and Tampa Bay ties the game back up. Jesse, it's a tie game again. I mean, look, if you're looking for entertainment, that's what it is in this game. We can't get away from the goals or the penalties here.
For sure. So some tough calls. My grandma slashes harder than that. There wasn't too much on that one, for sure. But again, it's like I said, going into this period, the Montreal Canadiens, knowing that the refs are really quick to call one, they need to be really careful, right? And control what they can and be really careful with their sticks here. That being said, I still have faith that the Montreal Canadiens can really win this one, not just tonight, but in regulation as well.
Yeah, 100%. And that's a missed coverage. Caden Gooley and Mike Matheson, neither one acknowledging Brandon Hagel, who just skates in completely unscathed, wide open. No one touched him. I mean, I don't know. I think Matheson and Gooley both thought they had the guy in front of the net, and Hagel just skates in behind and gets it. Again, Caden Gooley around the puck. I don't think he's had a bad game, but I believe, is that a hat trick for Hagel? Is that his third? Yeah, no.
I'm not seeing the hats on the ice. I don't believe so.
I thought I saw some. Radish had the other one, right? I swear, I thought I saw some hats, and I was confused. But no, Radish has the other goal. It's 2 goals for Hagel, 3 assists, by the way, for Jake Guentzel. All right, we're heading in to a tie game here late in this third period. It sounds like a whistle. Yeah, okay, it is a whistle. Tampa fans once again screaming for a penalty, though I'm sure Montreal fans would do the same. Ref's hat trick. That's why they tossed the hats, for sure. Yeah, I mean, this is what an incredible game this has been. I mean, just brutal. Like, again, I know that tapping the stick, hitting the stick with yours and breaking it is a penalty. Like, I can't, but it's just, it feels so disgusting. And again, I don't love that Gouli and Matheson both just staring at Hagel. Neither one of them with their stick even in the way or tying him up. I don't know who that's on. Gotta fix it. You just gotta fix it. You're like, hey, they scored a power play goal in this fashion. It's going to be in the film, and that's what they're going to have to work on for next game. Again, every single game's a learning experience, and especially for a young team, you got to, as much as it sucks to be like, wow, they just scored, you got to take a lesson from it and apply that to the next time out.
For sure, and for the large part, the Habs have done a good job in preventing those cross-seam passes throughout there. And this is a new pairing that they've went back to with Gouli and Matheson here of late. But yeah, that being said, it's like some little details here. Yeah, overall, we know with the stick breaking, that's pretty normal here, but it seems like a little bit of a soft call just by playoff standards, all the same there. But you got to feel like they're going to be figuring that out over the course of a series.
Yeah, I hope the refs figure it out too. You got to look back, you got to study your game, say, hey, I didn't have my best reffing night tonight. And, you got to just acknowledge it. It is what it is. All right, so we're here now into the final 10 minutes of the third period. It is a tie game. It's 3-3 as Ivan Demidov is working in the corner to get the puck. Mike Matheson comes away with it. Sends it to carry. That was a bit dangerous, but okay. It's Montreal who gains possession. It looks like Alex Newhook. I can't really tell. And it's Mike Matheson behind his own net. Oh my goodness. All right, Mike Matheson starting out from his own zone. Shots are 22-15 for Tampa. Montreal's definitely caught up a little bit in the shot total. A nice dump down low, and it's Juraj Slafkovsky chasing Ryan McDonough. The puck is loose, but it's Jake Guentzel who comes in and scoops it up. Sends a pass up the ice. It's going to be a race for it, though. Are they going to call icing? Caden Gouli. They don't call icing. How? How did they call the last 2 icings? Caden Gouli was the first one to touch the puck, but they don't call it. They give it to Anthony Cirelli. The benefit of the doubt. There's a shot on net and another scoring chance. I'm sick of this. What is happening here? Slafkovsky sends it out to Gouli, and yeah, it's Suzuki down to the corner. I mean, look, again, I'm just surprised. I'm surprised by some stuff. I do like a chat here from Violet saying Carrier's playing a better game. I do like what I've seen from Carrier tonight, Jesse. I thought he's looked really solid overall.
Yeah, definitely, and we need him in the lineup for sure, providing that savvy veteran game for the Habs here, and that's what's going to really again pay some dividends. As a lot of our young decor, they're learning on the fly here, but obviously having some examples, some guys that have been there before is definitely going to be very helpful for them.
I completely agree. As Tampa's coming back into the Habs zone, it's Nick Paul along the boards. He loses the puck, though. It's Jaden Struble, who is out in transition. He just chips the puck deep for Oliver Kapanen to head in on the forecheck against J.J. Moser. Puck comes loose, but it's Chernak who sends it up the right wing. But it's Kirby Dach who recovers the puck, and Montreal is back into the offensive zone. Jack-Eye with a little shot on net. Kirby winning the puck battle in the corner. It bounces out in front. Jack-Eye sending Gordon to the ground. Every time Jack-Eye's around anyone, no matter where he is, Jesse, he's putting someone on the floor, and I love it, man.
That's his game, right? That's what he's got to do. He knows his job out there, and he's answering the bell so far. And again, it's about, like, we're not seeing Jack-Eye taking some undisciplined penalties, so we can't be blaming him for any of this. He's definitely doing his job so far.
Absolutely, he is. It's been a great game from Jack-Eye. It's been a great game from the Habs as we're closing in on the end of this third period with 7.5 minutes left. It's Phil Deneau working the boards here. The puck goes down low. It's back in the corner behind Jakob Dobesh's left. It's Mike Matheson who comes out with it. You see Josh Anderson releasing up there on the right wing, but they didn't see him. It's Matheson working to Deneau, who just chips it out to center, but it's Tampa who recovers and tries to chip it back in. Another little scramble at the blue line here as Corey Perry sends it in, but it's Montreal that recovers. It's Alex Carrier who's just going to send it back to Matheson as Montreal is going to regroup here. And they send it up to Deneau, chips it in. We're going to see a little bit of a forecheck here now. Let's see Jake Evans goes in on J.J. Moser. And nope, and once again, Montreal couldn't get any really sustained offensive pressure, but Montreal is getting some more shots on net, some more chances. You can tell, Jesse, they're playing fast. Like these passes from the D zone up to the forwards on the wing, like they're really trying to generate as much offense as they can.
And the more open ice that I'm seeing in this game, the more that I feel like it's favoring the Montreal Canadiens. And that's just what you want to see more and really looking to create more of as this game goes on.
100%. And I've said that too many times. I got to come up with a new saying when I agree with you. I agree. Hutson sends it in from the point and squeaks through and just misses the net. Lane Hutson nearly gave the Habs the lead here with 6.5 minutes left in the third. Caden Gooley tries to send it towards the net, but Nikita Kucherov intercepts it, and he sends it down the ice as Tampa's going to go off for a change. Jake Guentzel stays in, trying to forecheck. He's pestering Hutson, but Hutson gets around him, and Montreal might have some slight numbers here, and not really. Juraj Slafkovsky goes into the corner against countryman Eric Chernak, but as Vasilevskiy, as the puck squeaks out in front of him, covers up with 6 minutes left. 6 minutes left, Jesse. 3-3 game. Shots 22-16. This is, I mean, you talk about entertaining hockey. That's exactly what this is. I know we've not loved the reffing. Slav's hitting everything. Jack Guy's hitting everything. No scraps yet, but I think this game's pretty much what we expected. Fairly high-ish scoring by playoff standards. The goalies, it's not been the goalie show, though. I gotta say, like, the goalies have looked good, but the goals they've given up, tough for the goalies to save. So, but I think that's really where the difference is going to lie, right? Neither goalie has really, like, cracked, I should say. I mean, both have given up some goals, but you can kind of forgive them on all of them. So you got to wonder, right? Especially with potentially a looming overtime. Who's going to crack first? But that's what playoffs is all about.
For sure. And again, it's probably, you got to feel like it's going to come down some rush opportunities. Often, as we see with these go-ahead goals in a tight game, is often one goalie's able to make a really big save, and then there's an opportunity that goes the other side. If Dobeš can really just hold his own at his end, and he doesn't need to be perfect all night. He just needs to be better for just a little bit longer than Vasilevskiy in order for us to get our opportunity. You have to feel like this game, it's coming down to that, right? Like, even I'm not ruling this one ending out even before overtime. Just as we're seeing a little bit of open ice start to generate, you feel like there's going to be some more chances here in this third period. There's not that same motivation, right, just to let it ride out into overtime like there is obviously in the regular season. So with the Habs here, you have to feel like they're going to be looking to attack. If Dobeš can just hold his own, you have to feel like their rush opportunities are coming very soon.
Yeah, just hold the fort, man. Like, you can just make a couple saves here, and you can really just give your team such a big boost. And the team's played so well in front of Dobeš because of the confidence that they've had in front of him. As we're currently seeing on the broadcast, a little dissection of Cole Caufield's goal line shots. But tonight, yeah, that's actually a good point. Like, maybe part of the reason Vasilevskiy overplayed it a little bit was because he was expecting the Caufield shot, but it was the Caufield pass into the bumper that allowed Slaf to score. But, of course, they show Brandon Hagel's second goal on the power play as well off that weak Bolduc slash that has this game tied up. And with 6 minutes left, we're about to rejoin the game. It's a face-off to Andrei Vasilevskiy's right in the offensive zone. It's Alex Newhook trying to win the draw for Montreal. Lane Hutson, Jaden Struble is the D pairing that Montreal has sent out there. So we're alternating the D pairings just a little bit here. Alex Newhook is not happy.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I like that too. I mean, this D pairing has been one of the best analytically for Montreal over the past 2 years. Not so much this year, but remember, last year, those numbers, really good. And it gives Hutson a bit of physicality to play with. Maybe put Gooley with Matheson, we'll see. The ref is really hesitating to drop this puck, but it's Alex Texier who wins the draw after stepping in. Lane Hutson with a point shot, and Vasilevskiy tried to glove it down and he couldn't. So shout out to Texier for winning that draw, as it leads to Montreal getting a bit of an offensive zone time here.
Yeah, and again, we need different guys chipping in, and it's really crunch time here. Again, I'm looking at guys like Hutson as this game comes down to the wire of who's going to be those difference makers for the Habs. My mind can't help going, obviously, the big guns, Demidov, Hutson, and Nick Suzuki as well. I think even though he's been a little bit more quiet in this game, I wouldn't be surprised to see him factoring not just on the assists column, but also on the goal sheet as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And Suzuki does have one assist on the night, because of course he does. You know, on the power play, he just gets them. He just accumulates. As Nikita Kucherov there tried a sneaky shot. He had his back to the goalie in a quick turn when you're almost not expecting it. It's a sneaky move, but Kucherov has been doing that his whole career. He's incredibly skilled. But you got to try and hold him off as much as you can. I mean, like, Tampa right now, their top guys are getting some points. Of course, you got 3 assists for Guentzel. Kucherov does have 2 assists, but he is a -1 on the game. He does have 5 shots as well. But the puck goes behind Jakub Dobeš. It's Josh Anderson in over there fighting for the puck. It's kind of tied up with Moser, I believe. A little bit of a scramble here, but Mike Matheson comes out with the puck, and he's behind Jakub Dobeš, getting pressure hard, though. Tampa is forechecking with a purpose in this game, and I'd like to see Montreal maybe step up and do that a little bit more as well, as the puck is hammered into the Tampa zone, but Montreal not able to get it. JJ Moser sends it up the wing. You can tell the pace is slowed a little bit. I think the legs are, as Tampa does get an icing, though, so great opportunity for Montreal with just under 5 minutes left here. The legs are starting to fail, but Montreal, Jesse, is the younger team, and how often have we said it? How often have we seen it? This young team, when the going gets tough for the other team, the legs get tired. With 5 minutes left in the third period in a grueling game, whose team comes out in front and looks faster, looks better? It's Montreal. So honestly, if you were to give me this, a tie game with 5 minutes left, to me, this very much favors the Habs.
For sure, and it's just about forcing them into small mistakes as well, and just icings and different where you're able to set up positionally on the ice obviously factors into that in some huge ways. And it's really those set pieces, and I'm starting to I'm very happy to see like some of the small adjustments that we're seeing from Martin St. Louis with the D pairings. I think it's something that I want to see, some just making some of those small adjustments even during the course of this game here for me is again, just very important, just for kind of figuring out the right pairings.
Yeah, just playing it to the other team and seeing like, hey, what are they going to give us? What are we going to take? Because it is Hutson and Gouli back out there together right now. So Gouli sends it back to Hutson. Hutson has been logging a ton of ice time in this game. If I take a look over here, 24-37. Lane Hutson leads all skaters in this game in ice time, which is pretty crazy. More than anyone on Montreal or Tampa, as this Kirby Dach, who takes it into Tampa's zone, stops up, sends it back to the point. Mike Matheson steps in, fires a shot through a bunch of traffic, but of course that doesn't get through, as it's Tampa who blocks the shot and dumps it back out. Looking for a little break here as Brandon Hagel gets into the zone. Great blocked shot there by Alex Carrier. My goodness, I mean, these little nothing plays. Tampa just flipping the puck out of their own zone. All of a sudden is a screen shot on Jakub Dobeš in transition. So Montreal doing a great job to shut that down.
Yeah, knowing their role, what they need to do, and it's really important because they're doing a great job of that in the first period, and it's just solid to see that they're showing a commitment to that over the game, because we know Dobeš is doing a great job right now, but it's about giving them support as well, and the Habs have been very good at, over the course of the year, blocking some shots and really making life easier for their goaltender, so great to see them continuing that in this very important game here tonight.
Yeah, it was a great block, great positioning from Alex Carrier, as we do head to commercial with 3:42 left. Oh my goodness. I mean, you know what's interesting is I feel more calm. I feel more calm now than ever, because I feel like I've been here before. You know, those nerves of watching this team, the first playoff game, in Tampa, the hostile environment, it's gone. This is what I'm used to. These late game scenarios, tie games going in late, and I just believe in this team. Like, I don't know. I just got a feeling, right? And I think the guys probably have this feeling too. Like, the nerves are definitely going to be there. But again, there's just as much pressure on Tampa as there is Montreal. So I don't know. Yeah, Montreal had the lead. You know, we came back from a deficit. We had the lead, and now it's a tie game. But again, familiarity with being in this position. I mean, Tampa has too, but I don't know. There's something about the way that these guys fight every single game that has me really. I'm gonna call it now, and I might end up being wrong. I think Montreal scores in the next 4 minutes here before regulation ends. I feel it. I don't think either of these teams, like you said, I don't think either of them want to go to overtime. I think that, like, it's not something they want to do. I think there's going to be a goal in the next 4 minutes, and I think it's going to be Montreal.
I love that. And again, you know, the Habs are very much familiar with these situations. We got guys like Caufield, who's one of the best goal scorers in the league, but also had one of the best years in terms of goal scoring for go-ahead goals. So again, just having those type of guys in those clutch situations. And Josh, like, when you have those type of guys like Caufield who score those go-ahead goals, doesn't it often come down to just like really wanting it and to being that difference maker? And that's a little bit of where that X factor, like when this is a tight game here, you're in the playoffs, it's going to come down to who really wants it more. And that's what I love about guys like Juraj Slafkovsky. Like for me, they show like a lot of wherewithal. Like they truly want it. Lane Hutson. Caufield, you know, is that type of guy as well. Like, you know, Nick Suzuki in a little bit more of an underspoken way is very much the same way. There's the way that he competes and really elevates his play, and historically, right, when it matters the most at the times of season, when it matters most. So it's really crunch down right now for the boys, and I got faith. I'm just so happy to, again, that just to be live here and breaking this down, because we're showing this game we can do more than just hang with Tampa Bay. Here it's as a young team, I even with all the calls against us, that obviously we can still be there right to the very end.
Absolutely. I mean, this team, resilient. It's been the word we've used for a couple of years now, but just so resilient. They never give up. Hashtag John Cena. WrestleMania Night 2 is going on right now. Couldn't care less. Let's see what's going on in the game again. Lane Hutson back over to Caden Gooley, though he misses it, and it looks like Tampa's going to come in. No, it squeaks out of the zone. JJ Moser sends it back over to Darren Radish, this top pairing from Tampa, logging some heavy minutes. Of course, two very talented players in their own rights. Caden Gooley gets tied up in the boards, but the puck gets cycled back around as Darren Radish. He sends it towards the net. Might have surprised Dobesh a little bit as Josh Anderson is clearing up and hits JJ Moser after Moser dumps it in. And again, just these little things, Jesse. I mean, over the course of a series, one game is one game, but this series is going to a minimum of 4 games. Little psychological things that you can do too, like just not letting anyone get near your goalie. You dump the puck in, I'm just gonna hit you in the chest, enough to not get a penalty. Like, it's just gonna make people react in a different way. And to do these things now, it's what Josh Anderson and Arbor Jack have done this game. You want to get Tampa to second guess their movements, and I think they're doing a solid job of at least predisposing them to being a little hesitant to go near them.
Yeah, Nick Suzuki getting the mix as well.
Yeah.
Really, what the point that you're getting to there, Josh, is it really just shows the mental battle in the game, and that's what's most important. Just showing the other team that you're not going to back down, and there's really psychological components which truly matter, because we know that most sports is really 90% mental when it comes down to it. So again, being able to win those battles in the game within the game is very important for the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, sports psychology is such a big thing, right? And it can help get rid of nerves. It can help people step up in the moments they need to step up. As the Montreal fails 2 separate dump-in attempts, as Tampa stops them. It's interesting. Montreal's going to regroup here in their own zone with 1:40 left in the 3rd period. My goodness. I mean, I called a goal. I still think it's going to happen for Montreal, but we'll see what happens here as Nick Suzuki comes up through center and dumps it into the corner. It's Ryan McDonough who gets it over to Eric Chernak, but it's Juraj Slafkovsky who goes in again against his fellow countryman, Slovakian Eric Chernak, but it squeaks out to Arbor Jacka, who tries to spark the play again. Suzuki chips it in. Caufield looking to steal it from McDonough, but he can't get it. It's up to Guentzel, and Tampa's out in transition very fast. A little bit of a gamble by Hutson, a bit of a mistake here. Brandon Hagel looking in front, but it's saved by Jakub Dobesh once again. Bit of a risky play by Hutson. He decided a little bit too late that he didn't actually want to step up, but he managed to recover just enough. As we talk about a game of inches, one extra step from Hutson there, and that's a 2-on-1 for Tampa, but he managed to stay with Hagel just enough to not let the puck get into a dangerous position, and he actually tips it into Dobesh. My goodness, I mean, exciting from the first minute right here until the last minute.
For sure, and showing some good wheels to actually get back there. Because to be honest, he doesn't get clear beat. The way that he's able to really get back, he really nullifies that play. And again, just showing that klutz and Lane Hutson hustle, right? And for me, if we get anywhere in the playoffs, it's going to be a big part of the reason because of the competitive spirit of players like Lane Hutson.
Yeah, exactly. Again, competitive spirit. It's exactly it, right? He is fast, despite what Corey Proman says, but he turned on the afterburners there as Kucherov fires it and it just misses the net, and Tampa fans thought it might have gone in. That was a crazy one. Kucherov is just firing from wherever. He shoots it again from the point and squeaks out in front of Dobesh, but Tampa wasn't able to get it. As Phil Deneau gets it here, sends it up to Mike Matheson. I mean, danger. Mike Matheson sending it up, and he's going to dump it in. Tampa once again, though, it's a few straight times now where Montreal's tried to dump it in deep, but Tampa stops it. They stop it at the blue line, and they just they don't let Montreal get off and get an easy change or come in and forecheck. They're just going to stop it and try and get right back. And we're going to see a replay here. Kucherov fires it from the point. It only missed the net by a few inches as well. Final 40 seconds here, Jesse. Maybe my prediction's gonna be wrong, but 40.1 on the clock. I mean, if this game goes to overtime, I just hope it's not a long one for my own sanity.
Oh, well, you know what? The boys are up for it no matter what the case. And obviously we got guys like Cole Caufield that are performers when it comes to that. But there's going to be some opportunity, right? As Wayne Gretzky likes to say that, 30 seconds in hockey can sometimes feel like an eternity. So there's going to be obviously some opportunities here. But, the boys are prepared to lock it in when it truly matters here. If the refs can just put away their whistles, I have a strong feeling that the Habs, will be able to win this game.
I agree. Montreal winning the faceoff battle 32-24 as Tampa gets a little chance here with 35 seconds left. Chernak sends it back in behind the net. Ivan Demidov fighting with Cirelli, trying to get it at the point. It's another point shot. It's deflected. It's bouncing. It hits someone in the face. Is there a high stick or was it the puck? It's a penalty. Montreal is going to the power play as Jake Guentzel gets a high sticking penalty with 20.5 seconds left in the third period. Oh, Jesse. Oh my goodness. Montreal is going to the power play. Jake Guentzel, a little bit careless. Caden Gooley. Oh, yeah, that's a hard one. That's payback there. Caden Gooley. Guentzel tries to high stick the puck out of the air and hits Gooley right in the helmet. Guentzel knew it right away. It's a power play for Montreal. Jesse, is this going to end right here? I said before the end of regulation, wouldn't surprise me if we get a Cole Caufield snipe right here.
It could for sure. Gooley just continuing to be a soldier for this team, right? And it's not really mattering, this isn't happening unless he's getting under the skin of that Tampa Bay player, which again is kind of that game within the game. He's looking to clear him in front of the net in classic Gooley style, bringing that physical play, and by that really drawing the penalty here. So again, some great work by Caden Gooley, whose work sometimes flies under the radar.
100%. I gotta stop saying that. I gotta it's like a mental thing. 78%. All right, Cole Caufield skates into the offensive zone, though Tampa's not picking him up. He skates in, tries to leave the puck for Slav. It doesn't quite work. Tampa gets possession. They dump it down the ice, and this game is going to overtime. Oh my goodness, Jesse. First game of the playoffs. Montreal gets a chance to end this game in overtime on the power play. Oh my goodness. I don't know what else to say. I might need to take a little bathroom break here in a second. I'm going to stick around for a moment, but I cannot believe this. I am... could you have predicted like a more exciting first game of the playoffs to watch? My voice is going to be gone tomorrow, dude. I don't know. I'm ready to go for this, but holy crap. I mean, this team is about to give us a heart attack.
Oh, we're completely going right when it matters the most. Again, a tight game here on the road, pushing it to overtime. This young Habs team showing that they mean business, and I think that this first game is just really showing how tight of a series this potentially could be for people feeling that this could potentially go 7 games. I think you have a lot of evidence here tonight to show that it could be exactly just that. Because in the regular season as well, right? Like not much in between. The Habs were 2-1-1. They won that regular season battle, but at the same time, it's a lot of those games were fairly close, especially down the wire, and we're seeing that here tonight. Now, that being said, if with the Montreal Canadiens, they're going to have a huge opportunity on the power play here in overtime. We know how good this power play is on the road, so you have to feel like they're going to look to end it very soon.
I got to think that they're going to end it very soon. A Hack Dog saying, more time with Josh and Jesse. That's right. Hey, if you guys have been enjoying this, you've been going end to end in this game with us, I think the least we can ask for, we'd really appreciate just you to click like. That's all it is. If you want to subscribe while you're down there, sure. If you want more of this, let us know, but just one like, it means the world to us. We're only 20 away from 200 likes, and we have 400 people in here, so if you wouldn't mind just clicking it, it seriously means the world to us. Who's getting the OT winner? I mean, I'm not even going to predict one for Tampa, because Tampa's not going to win this game. All right, I'm going to go first. I'm going to go weird. Am I going to go weird? I don't know, because I think I'd like for us to end it on this power play. I am going to go weird. And it's going to be off the board. I don't think anyone in chat's going to say it. I want everyone in chat to send your OT winner too. I'm going to say Oliver Kapanen. I think he's going to get one. I think he's a guy who's a goal scorer. And I just feel it could happen. I'm going to say Oliver Kapanen. I don't think it's likely, but that's the fun about this, right? Jesse, who do you have?
Juraj Slafkovsky, hat-trick, overtime winner here tonight. He's just been so good on the power play. Obviously, the usual suspects like Cole Caufield, who's so good in overtime. on the power play come to mind as well. But for me, if I'm the Habs, I'm looking to feed the hot hand in your eye here tonight.
Hot hand in your eye, absolutely. I mean, that's putting it lightly. This dude, 2 goals in his first playoff game this year, unreal. Let's take a look in the chat. I'm shocked Griff didn't ignore the high stick. Yeah, good point. David saying Newhook with the OT winner. I love that. I think very possible as well. It'll be Slav or Ivan on a one-timer. Yeah, Demi definitely loves to let those rip, don't he? Slav for hat-trick says Martin Kindler. Let's break Tampa. Sudden death. They have one chance at 4 to end it. I need an overtime coffee. It could be a late one. Be careful with that. I've done that before, and then you just can't sleep when it ends in 30 seconds like it will in this overtime. Hutson. I like Hutson. The Slav trick. 100% Caufield that shoots one. What I love about it, and we got Demidov. Hudson Shazazzle. Shazazzle's a word. There you go. I like that one. So we're about to see some shazazzling. But what I love too, Jesse, is like this team is just, again, so deep with scoring, goal scorers, and talent that like with 5 or 6 names, I'm like, yeah, absolutely any of these guys could do it. One name that I haven't seen anyone say, Josh Anderson. Wouldn't that be fitting too? Right? Like, I just feel like there's so many guys that would make a ton of sense to score this winner. And, it's going to be one of them. Because, again, I refuse to believe that Tampa's going to win this game. I just have pure faith. It's propaganda. Montreal doesn't lose. And if the final score even says 4-3 for Tampa, Montreal didn't lose. Montreal didn't lose. The refs won. That's fine. Like, right? That's what happens. I just got too much faith in this team, I think. I really see Montreal coming out hot in this overtime and winning this game.
Absolutely. So, and you see why we're bringing the propaganda heavy. The Habs are having a battle. The refs, so many different things. It's only so important that they get their love here. And that's why, again, this is why we want to go so hard. Thank you guys so much again just for being here at the intermission. We just want to say thank you for being a part of this watch along. We're going to look to do more of these here in the postseason. And again, this is just a way of saying thank you. You know, we're doing daily videos all the same, but you know, we're going to ramp up our efforts for this team in the postseason because we really believe we're going to do everything in our effort just to make sure that you're getting the most value and enjoyment out of this postseason here. So again, thank you guys for rocking with us here today. And again, it's shaping into a big overtime. It's getting dramatic. It's just pure theater here tonight, Josh. Who's going to play the hero? We know Dobie's going to be big when it matters. I have a lot of confidence, Josh, that we can truly win this game. Like in overtime, maybe things open up just a little bit more, and you have to feel like, again, that's just one opportunity is all that the Habs are going to need.
That is all you need. Absolutely. The open game. I mean, 5-on-5 overtime, though. It's been a while, right? Like, it's not something you see every day. Did we have an overtime game last year against Washington? We had one, right? Did we?
I think so.
I think so. But I think Washington won that game, right? I don't think, because we won the one game, but that was like a 5-2 win, I think. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a while since we've seen Montreal win a 5v5 overtime game. It must be 2021, right? It would have had to have been. I guess the last time we won, the Anderson's goal against Tampa was overtime, I believe, right? That diving goal in the final. Either way, Lehkonen, of course, scoring against Vegas in the conference final was another overtime. But as the panel's looking here at how Tampa scored their goal, again, this power play structure by Tampa, almost like a 5 on a die. But you can see Hagel just snuck in there. Matheson was looking at the pass. Gouli was looking in front of the net, but Hagel just snuck in the back there. Gouli was a split second late in covering the stick. And, you know, again, like, just stuff you learn from it. Can you imagine a better learning experience? Like, to get this out of the way, I mean, do you know how long it takes most players in their career to play an overtime game in another team's barn? Like, how much is this going to help these guys? You saw what the shot total that Montreal put up in the third. You're like, oh, we can stick with them. We can get shots on net. We can beat Vasilevskiy. We take them to overtime. Oh, we have a power play in overtime. We can do it. Again, I regardless of how anything goes the rest of this season, the experience here is better than I think you could expect any team to get at this stage in any rebuild. It honestly is ridiculous how spoiled we're going to be for so long.
Absolutely, and that's what's so exciting about all this, and really seeing is believing is so key, because we need to remember that the Tampa Bay Lightning are one of the very best teams in the entire NHL. I submit to the idea that if the Habs can be pushing this to overtime, they can be hanging with them. They can hang with literally any single team in the playoffs. And I mean, this isn't news here. Like the Habs, they really believe this, but we're saying this for maybe the some of the newer fans of the Montreal Canadiens, of how much we truly believe in this team and what they can do. And again, like, this wasn't their best effort in a long shot here tonight. And that being said, we're still getting into overtime. They're fighting a lot of different things, which isn't totally under their control. And I feel like it's going to be hard for them, for refs to call a lot of calls, questionable calls against them all the time without, obviously, like, I just don't think that they'll be able to do that, and I think that the Montreal Canadiens, if they just control what they can, just playing some solid hockey here, and in the third period, just for the love of God, just really having good control over that stick, keeping two hands on it, keeping it down as much as possible, I think is going to be really key. If they can just show some good discipline there for this young team and show that they're ready, and that they've matured, then they're going to get rewarded with the W here tonight.
Yeah, you just got to go out there, you got to fight. And the refs are going to start respecting you more when you get that experience, when you show that fight. Like, it's tale as old as time, right? The young and experienced person doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. Even though Marty is one of the longest tenured coaches in the NHL, he doesn't have the most playoff experience. So you get that, right? And it's just, it is what it is. But Montreal is doing the best that they can right now, despite the situation. And I don't know. I'm excited to see who comes away with this in overtime. I see Henry in chat. How about some YYT representation? Josh Newhook, absolutely. I'd love for Newhook to get this goal. I mean, it feels so good. I just want anyone on this team to get the goal. Why not Arbor Jackeye? A bomb from the point. It would be absolutely unreal. I want Kapanen, Texier, Demidov. Oh, interesting. So, Kapanen with Texier and Demidov. Like, I wonder too, Jesse, after this game. I mean, if I go take a look here at the lines this game on Money Puck, if you actually look, the number one player on Montreal for expected goals percentage is Ivan Demidov. When he's been on the ice, his expected goals percentage is over 80%. Him and Zach Bolduc are both at around 80%. They've been phenomenal. The lowest on Montreal today, Kirby Dach, only 5%. The anti-Kirby Dach crowd is going to have a field day with that one. But Caufield and Suzuki Slafkovsky all hovering right around 50%. Expected goals is not real goals. So, you know what? Doesn't really matter. But yeah, I mean, if I take a look at the lines here, Slafkovsky, Suzuki, Caufield, the 5v5, they're getting crushed. The worst metrics, lowest expected goals percentage, lowest Corsi, lowest Fenwick of any of our Habs lines. 4% expected goals, 21% of the shots controlled by them. The line that's been the best, actually, Texier, Newhook, Demidov, 67% of the expected goals, 36% of the shot share. Best shot share is Dach, Kapanen, and Bolduc, but they're not generating chances. But on defense, Hutson Gooley, 56.6% of the expected goals. Struble Jackeye, like our best D pairing tonight by the advanced stats. 74% of the expected goals, 71% of the shots controlled. So I wonder, right, after this game, a great performance by Struble and Jackeye, lackluster performance by some forward lines. Do you think Marty might make some changes heading into game two? I expect it. I don't know if anyone comes out of the lineup, but every game you want to play to your advantage, and if guys are not getting it done, we're very fortunate to have a very talented 13th, 14th, and 15th forwards sitting up there in the press box.
If there are changes, it'll very much depend on the result and how this one ends here tonight. At the same time, you have to feel like on that second line there, obviously it's very nice to see that they are having success, because it looks like the first lines for the Habs and Tampa Bay, they're kind of canceling each other out. And as we talked about pregame, it's really like the depth is going to be that difference maker. So if we're looking at heroes, those analytics are maybe painting an interesting picture of who we should be looking for to play hero for the Montreal Canadiens. It very much could be that depth of either a Demidov, a Newhook, or potentially Texier there on that second line that's able to shine through, as it's obviously very tight there with best on best, but obviously it's going to be the depth that's going to shine through. So it's actually it's nice to hear that, because Demidov I definitely has the type of capabilities to obviously be a game changer for the Habs. So if he's getting some ice, here he very much could be that person here tonight.
I would love it. And I mean, he's been creating opportunities, right? And got that beautiful assist on Slafkovsky's goal. I mean, he's been everywhere, absolutely everywhere. As currently the broadcast is showing some bonus footage as we get to get some eyes on Buffalo versus Boston, a much higher shooting affair. Shots are 18-10, only 5 minutes into the second period. You can imagine this is a fast-paced game. It's 1-0 Boston, but this right here is a preview of who Montreal could face in the second round, right? If Montreal gets out of this series, which I think we're all very much hoping and honestly maybe even expecting them to do, you face one of these two teams. And right away, what I'm noticing, Jesse, is the speed at which these teams are playing. Buffalo especially loves to get out in transition and go. And so Montreal, again, like, I don't know, like, I can't help but feel it, right? When the game plays fast is when Montreal's at their best. So I know the models doubt Montreal, but when I watch these other teams play and I watch when Montreal's at their best, it's like, I just feel like it's a good matchup pretty much all the way through. Yeah, there are some teams that scare me a little bit, but really anything goes in the playoffs, and I'm getting more optimistic by the minute, I think.
For sure. And even though one of our brackets is actually one of the more tougher paths, that being said, is like we still feel confident in every single matchup that there is definitely a way there. And obviously, like we've seen the EA simulation, there's been also like some other major analysts which do feel that the Montreal Canadiens can definitely make some waves and definitely getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, and some of them having, going even further than that. And obviously it's just by the style of game that they play. And we're seeing there was a lot of questions of, obviously playing a little bit more of a speed game. How does that translate in the playoffs? And we're seeing in a lot of ways it does work here tonight. And I think they're obviously getting a lot of tells of how they want to keep the speed game, but maybe just getting a little bit more of that volume in there as well. That being said, like, I'm having a hard time faulting the Habs here because it was a couple bad penalties against, and it kind of like changed the momentum of it. And then just, maybe just a little bit of plays in defensive, where maybe poking straws of just making sure that we got our guy and we're not allowing those cross-seam passes. That being said, power play and some rough calls against, that's essentially going to happen. And the biggest thing is this: we're having potentially like some rough calls against, and maybe just not knowing if that is the case. Don't give the refs like any opportunity to blow the whistle whatsoever, because you have to feel if the refs are keeping their whistle shelves here, that this game is over here in regulation for the Montreal Canadiens, who did have the lead late. At the same time, you have to feel like they're going to be motivated. They've been showing a solid improvement. They've been getting better as the game goes on. They were better in this third period than I believe that they were in the second. So they're just going to look to continue that into overtime here.
Into overtime we go as we see Jakub Dobeš warming up in his crease. I like Charles in chat says, Martin is going to score. That'd be fun. And Marty hops off the bench for a shift. Player coach says, you guys are really awesome. Well, thank you so much, Charles. As Violet also says, Habs Digest, the Fun Canadians channel. That's right. Real Habs fans here, too. You guys know what we're talking about. Real Habs fans is who you're sharing this game with, and that's what makes it so exciting. So here we go. Puck is about to drop. I don't know why it rewound as well, but the ref is lining up for the draw. You can hear it. Here we go. I've changed my mind. Josh to win it in OT. That's me, baby. No, I assume you mean Josh Anderson, but thank you. Don't give the refs a chance to blow the game. We won't. Montreal has to come out quick. Here we go. Let's send it back to the live feed. Overtime, 20 minutes. Off we go. Montreal with the power play to start. It's the PP1 units. Lane Hutson, Cole Caufield, Nick Suzuki, Juraj Slafkovsky, and Ivan Demidov. Suzuki sends it up quickly as Slafkovsky enters the zone, but it's broken up at the line, and Tampa nearly has a chance to break out, but it's Nick Suzuki who comes back and recovers. He sets it back up for Cole Caufield, who chips it to himself and is probably going to dump it in. Yes, he does. Down to Nick Suzuki behind the Tampa net. And here we go. Montreal has it's set up in the offensive zone. Juraj Slafkovsky back up to Lane Hutson. Lane Hutson down to Nick Suzuki. We see Caufield on the goal line. Suzuki looking around. Oh, the pass is tipped by Hagel, and he sends it out. Tampa nearly sprung a break, but didn't quite work. All right, Jesse, we got a minute left in this power play. You still think we can get this done?
Yeah, definitely. Plenty of time for sure. Just a heads up on my end, I'm having some technical issues, so if ever I'm have to enter the stream here today, it's just because of that. We'll make sure we're getting that fixed for future watch-alongs there. Just a little bit of a heads up on there, and it's been so fun rocking with you guys here tonight. We're going to keep rocking till the very last second here on our end, because we just love being with you here so much on our end. So obviously it's just been so much fun, and we know the Habs are still going to get the W all the same.
Absolutely. Well, no problem, my friend. And again, I got you covered. I don't know if I have static Jesse image ready anymore, but we'll have to wait and see here. As with 19:01 left in overtime, is it timeout? Yeah, Martin St. Louis, Jesse, calls a timeout for Montreal. Interesting. I guess there's no better time than now, right? Like, when else are you going to call it? You're not going to pull the goalie anymore. So that's it. As Jake Guentzel looks depressed in the penalty box, he can just watch as Montreal is setting up. 40 seconds left. Give the top unit a bit of breath, Jesse. I don't know. I can't help but feel it. I think it's going to happen right here, right now. Marty's not even saying anything. He's just scratching his head. He's letting the boys get a bit of a rest. Oh, I don't know. I feel it, man. I feel it.
They know what they need to do, and I love how they're looking for Slav there on the slot, just looking to feed him right away, feeding the hot hand, and it's nice to see that they know what's working. And again, they're being unpredictable on the power play because they see Slav as that shooting threat, sometimes on that right-hand flank, but again, just so many different looks is creating a little bit of unpredictability right now for the Tampa Bay PK.
That's exactly what you need to do. Tampa Bay's PK has some talented players. Again, without Victor Hedman, but Anthony Cirelli, one of the best defensive forwards in the NHL. Of course, he's probably going to come second to Suzuki and Selke voting, as Brayden Hagel does manage to clear the puck. That's not what you want to see right off of the timeout, Tampa clearing it. But hey, we know Montreal has been very solid this game and this season at entering the offensive zone. We're setting it back up for Nick Suzuki as Tampa kind of crowds the blue line here, but Nick Suzuki does get in. He switches his approach up a little bit. There's a bit of a gamble. Okay, there you go. Slafkovsky gets in and scores! Juraj Slafkovsky wins the game for the Montreal Canadiens in overtime! Let's go! Slavzilla, baby! Jesse, no technical issues. You're here. It happened. Montreal wins the game in overtime 4-3. Oh, I cannot believe it. What a finish! Montreal Slav hat trick. Oh my god, I am out of words. Let the horn sound, baby.
Shout out to the commenter with the Slav trick. Absolutely playing hero here in overtime, as we might suspect he did. Again, just being so good with him. How good is that shot? The heavy wrister. Vasilevskiy had no chance on this one. Going top sheets with that. Not only Slavzilla have lasers coming from his mouth, but also from his stick as well here tonight to win the game for the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh my god, the final Game 1, Juraj Slafkovsky hat-trick. The entire country of Slovakia was just woken up in the middle of the night because the most famous athlete, someone correct me if I'm wrong, the most popular athlete gets the goal. I cannot believe it. This is more than Olympic Slav. This is the next evolution of Juraj Slafkovsky. Habs power play, the story of this game. Juraj Slafkovsky coming in, putting on a performance for the ages. Jesse, how do you even top this in Game 2? You come into Tampa, every single person doubts you. You are not winning in any of these models. You have a 1% chance to make the cup final. And yet it's Juraj Slafkovsky with a hat trick. You get 3 power play goals in the same game. Like, what else can you do to top this? How are people going to treat the Montreal Canadiens after a win like this? You can't help it. There goes Jesse. The power. There goes the technical issues. I'm so sad to see Jesse go. But, oh my gosh. I mean, I guess we're here. I mean, what else? How do you top that? Slavzilla with the $43 from Hackdog. Hackdog, thank you so much. Unbelievable stuff. Let's go. We stole that game from the refs. That's absolutely right, Jason. And, you know, shout out to Jesse, who was here for the whole thing, here right until the end. What poor timing for him to go there, but that's it. We're watching the replay. Unbelievable. Juraj Slafkovsky, and again, Hackdog, $43. You did not have to. Thank you so much. I mean, let's get some hype. Let's just get some hype. Every single channel member needs to send the Slavzillas in chat right now. Oh my god, I cannot believe what I am watching. I cannot believe what I just saw. You guys, we all shared in this moment together. The Montreal Canadiens just took every single doubter and just threw them out the window. Slavkovsky, not only were the goals different, they were powerful. A one-time shot from the right hash marks, or from the right circle, whatever. A one-time shot from the bumper spot. And then the balls you need to have to do what he just did there at the end, to take the puck, from where he took it as a left-handed shot and shoot it far side, glove side on Andrei Vasilevskiy. That's Andrei freaking Vasilevskiy that you're shooting that puck on. And you get that goal like that? Absolutely ridiculous. Jesse just peed his pants. I don't think he did. I did, though. Full disclosure. You don't want to see that. Hello from the Alps in Europa. great game, great win. Go Habs, go. Absolutely baby making time. Rays is always here with the one-liners. Rays, you are amazing. Shane Wright who? Game is finished. Absolutely, it's finished. A massive, massive victory for the Montreal Canadiens. Oh my God, I can't believe we just watched that. Me neither. And you know what? We've got to have a video coming out after this. This was one of the most insane games I've ever watched in the playoffs. Yes, I've seen some crazy games in the past. I remember the 2021 run, the Arturi Lehkonen goal, the Tyler Toffoli one-time overtime winner that gets forgotten about against Winnipeg to sweep the Winnipeg Jets. I've seen Habs OT goals. This is different. This is, let me remind you all, this is the youngest playoff team in NHL history. This is the youngest playoff team in history ever, and they just beat the heavy favorite Tampa Bay Lightning despite a bunch of bad calls going against them, leading to Tampa taking the lead, tying the game. Thank you, Jake Guentzel, for your high stick on Caden Gooley. Montreal came in and proved what every single person who said they couldn't do, they proved that they could do it. They took Tampa, they played up to Tampa's level, not for the whole game, but for the entire second half, and they took the victory. What else could you possibly ask for? What are we saying? Is this going to be a sweep? Let me know right now down below. What are you saying for... Let me also... I got to change this, actually. Let me just do this. What are you saying for your series prediction? What are you saying for your series prediction now? I got to also change this. I don't have single Jesse here. There we go. All right. What are you saying for your series prediction now? What's Montreal going to win by? Is it going to be a sweep? Are we going to pull a Columbus? I can't wait. Simon coming in clutch here. I called it. Slap hats. Great use of the timeout by Marty. Thank you so much, Simon. Appreciate you. I agree. Let's give a massive, massive shout out to Martin St. Louis for that. What a fantastic timeout call. That's going to go under the radar for a lot of people. I'm glad you mentioned that, Simon, because that timeout, just to give the guys a breath, to have that full force on that power play, unbelievable stuff. So Marty calling that timeout very well could have changed that game. Probably did change that game. I can't believe it. Let's take a look at the chat right now. Let's take a look at the chat. What are you guys saying? It's not OT intermission. I'm just going to change this to Habs win. Habs win. There we go. That's good. And I'm also going to change this away from the duo back to the solo. And there I am. Habs win. All right. What do we got in chat? Give me your predictions right now. Give me your predictions. Let's take a look. Habs in 6. Habs in 6. Habs in 4. Sweep. Slaptastic. Ben oui, les boys. Ben oui. Merci, Guillaume Nadon. Dans le chat. Someone did call the Slav trick. A few people did. I said it when Slav hits his prime. It's going to be a Slavzilla problem. The better team, without a doubt. The Habs. Habs in 6. Habs on 6. 3 stars. Dobesh, Anderson, Slav. I like you giving Dobesh the 3rd star. I appreciate that too. But yeah, I agree. Slav and Anderson, no doubt. Number 1 and 2. Predict the Habs in 5. I'm confident we can do it. Habs in 5. Habs in 6. 4-1 Habs. See you all next game. Well, we might just have to. But thank you all so much for tuning in. You know what? I mean, if you guys want to keep talking for a minute, let me know. But I might have to go out and make a little video talking about this game. And you know what? This game was absolutely incredible. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. Thank you so much to Jesse for being here. Despite the technical issues that he's having with his computer, still got through it the entire game. Was here to see the win. Delighted to shut the crowd up after their USA chanting. Doesn't feel any better than that, right? The USA, USA. Do you really think you're better than us? It's hilarious. You guys see in the UFC, they confiscated the Canadian flag from a guy who won? Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. Jesse was here when it mattered most. I agree. Jesse is always here when it matters most. Jesse matters most. My heartbeat was over 180 BPM. It was incredible. Yeah, who said Fallon needs to replace Dobesh? Yeah, they're probably not coming back. But you know what? That was it. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in every single day. I'm going to go make a video about this game. I've been your host, Josh Gosse. For my co-host, who is no longer in the stream, Jesse Poirier, we'll catch you all in the next one.